Boom! Alright. Hey guys, welcome to episode 9. Uh, the Suicide Squad session 3. We'll just get right into the nitty gritty and say that we're going to start off with Corvus and Serveus in the cell together. You guys, Corvus, you had your, armor and arms taken from you, just down to like your base clothing, sitting in your cell with this.
I feel naked.
You do feel naked with this
I'm
dwarf.
Batman.
But yes, you two are sitting there, just passing time. However, you two decide to pass the time.
So, what's it like being a flea begging?
What's it like being a cunt?
It's pretty good. I enjoy it. We all gotta have our hobbies.
I'd say the same about being a plebeian, but I don't know that I know what it's like. Could you tell me?
You know, lashing out against others.
Who says I'm lashing out? You seem to be the one who started this whole shit throwing.
I just tell you the fact. You wear the clothes of a plebeian, and you were carrying a goat next to you. You look. I'm not using it as an insult. You seem like a hard-working gentleman, but it's just your lot in life.
Okay, well, if I were to walk up to you and say, "Fuck you," how would your reaction differ from mine? You're
Well,
basically saying the same thing.
Well, but like I said, I'm not using it in an offensive manner. I'm just curious as
Well,
to your
I'm
lifestyle.
not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to say, screw you.
Well, you see, that seems hurtful and
Listen,
intended to hurt my
listen.
feelings.
Corvus, right?
Whoa, how do you know my name?
Because I heard your comrades before, or right after that traumatic experience.
Well, if it was so traumatic, why aren't you traumatized?
I've seen some shit.
Okay.
I mean, Anyway, yeah. So, did those guys tell you were lying too?
Well, I'm not a dirty liar, so I was honest the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I told them
They're
my
just a bunch
story.
of assholes.
I told them my story, and they're like, "No, you're lying." And I said, "No, I'm telling the truth." And then they threw me in here. I think something fishy's going on, personally.
Well, no, I mean, that guy seems pretty smart. It sounds like you were lying. And I know because I was lying, and he caught me in my lie. So were you lying?
I was most certainly not lying. I was telling him the story of my life.
Do you walk in the savannah? Are you a giant cat? Are you a lion?
You
'Cause I
caught
think
me.
you're lying.
You caught me. I am a lion.
Yeah. See. So what? So back to all seriousness. The seriousness though. What did you lie about? Come on, man.
I'm telling you, I didn't lie.
All right.
They
What you?
must have gotten
Okay.
the wrong
Well,
thing.
then what did you tell them? What did you tell them?
I
About
told
your-
them. I told them what I saw. I told them that we had happened to be there. I
Who
was
was
delivering.
we?
They asked me
Him and
what
the
I was
goat.
doing there, delivering my goat. Is what I told them. And all of a sudden, the man in the middle with the chains on his arms looked at me in this strange way and said, "I don't believe you," or something to that effect.
Well, I mean, the guy does good work, but I can't be on his side morally. You know, he killed his wife and daughter in cold blood.
How do you know this?
Because I asked him and he was honest with me. Nice guy. You know, a child murderer and a wife murderer. Probably has some mental issues.
Reminds me of that one character from that one television series.
I have
Wait,
no clue what television is.
What is television?
Yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about. You're obviously insane. I'm gonna go ask them if I can get a cell with a non-crazy person.
Oh, don't worry about that. My people should be here soon enough.
Your people?
You'll be solitary.
Okay. I trust you on that part. I hope so.
Someone does.
Well,
That better not stop the. Okay.
so, you didn't answer my question though. What's it like to be a plebeian?
I'm sure you would know that question more than I would.
See, I don't though, because my dad is a nobleman, and I was raised in a noble family.
Plebeian isn't so much of a status as it should be.
And you see, I think that's bullshit. I disagree.
I disagree.
Well, we can agree to disagree then.
I don't really like
Cheerio.
language.
Cheerio. From what it seems, you don't really like very many people.
That's not true
And
at
the
all.
one person you have seemed to like is that person who has killed his own family and then stripped of his own emotions.
You see, I don't agree with that. I just said I thought he was a good person because he's doing his job. You know, we all got jobs to do. We all do our jobs.
He's the only person that I've heard you say he's a good person. Despite his flaws, which are, in my book, flaws by any other name.
Well, I mean, there's lots of people I don't like, and there's lots of people I do like. I trust my comrades, and I'm sure they'll get me out of here at some point in time, hopefully. If they can't, well, I'm sure that they tried their goddamn best.
Well, you trust them.
Yeah, trust them, definitely.
Then why would you say hopefully? There seems like there's some shadow of a doubt there.
Well, because I'm aware of my situation, and I'm being realistic here. They're only mortal.
Are you being realistic, or are you having doubts? Wait.
Being realistic is having doubts, because even though you want to believe anything's possible, I might very well be put up for treason, which could be a dangerous thing for me. It's probably not even going to be very easy to get visiting rights with me. Things are not looking good for me.
Then why did you kill that guy?
Because honestly, it was my orders to kill the guy, but then when I get back here, they tell me that wasn't my orders, that there were some other orders that I wasn't informed of, and that I was supposed to follow those orders I didn't know about, and by not following those orders, I did wrong. That makes sense.
It doesn't make much sense, but whether it's you that's not making sense, or
Well, let me put it this way. Okay, I had this commander, right? And she told us our orders were to kill this guy.
right,
So we killed this guy because she got incapacitated. So as second in command, I'm now in command. So I carry out the job. I killed this guy. Well, we get back to town. They're like, "Hey, did you kill that guy?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I killed that guy. That's what I was supposed to do." And they're like, "No, you weren't supposed to kill that guy."
you weren't talking about the big uproar about the orc guy getting killed, huh?
What big uproar? They said they're keeping it under wraps. What do you know?
Well, I happen to know some of the nobles of the dwarf community, and they tell me some stuff. Now, you say they might keep it under wraps, but even the nobles of the dwarf community, being underground, even though...
Can I ask him to roll falsehood, because this all feels really fishy right now.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's acceptable for a falsehood. What's your will, Mr. Corvus?
My will is
Undeniable.
And then as your obstacle, Serveus. You can, like I said, you remember with Persona, you can spend up to 3 on one test to give you dice.
Spend 2.
Well, look, I think it's one of the first times we've had someone spend Persona.
Oh, I
And
spend
then-
them all the time.
For
I spend
dice?
like candy. Yep.
Good. Good. Good.
Alright. And I do the open-ended at the end of it.
Yeah, if you roll 6s, that's when you can
Then you
spend
can
8.
decide to roll.
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
That's not good. Corvus, you can tell this dwarf isn't being entirely honest with you about these nobles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
Is something wrong?
I don't know. I just I figured information like this would be held under tighter wraps. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was told I was supposed to kill this orc chieftain. I did it, and then when I get back here, they tell me I wasn't supposed to kill him, and then I'm in trouble for it, even though I was never informed I was not supposed to kill him. What was that for? Just to see.
What could have been?
still.
Are you just trying to find good dice?
No, I'm trying to see like what my problem is. I've been rolling shitty the whole night. What the
It's
fuck?
one of those nights, man. Alright. Look, all I'm saying is that I can understand where they're coming from, but the system's a little fucked.
Well, from what you tell me, I think it is a little strange.
Yeah, but you know, they don't see it like that. They see it as I should have known, even though, you know, I'm pretty sure at this point that my first in command wasn't letting me know, because, I don't know, maybe this is her evil scheme all along. I get in trouble for this. But, you know, we're given, you know, the dice fall a certain way.
Right.
They're already on the table, and it's already been decided. You know, I'm in my situation. I'm just gonna have to let it ride. I'm gonna have to figure this out as I go. I'm gonna have to hope my companions are gonna save my ass, because I really can't do much from this cell. But I trust them, and I also have an ace in the hole. I have a cousin that I send him to talk to. I think he can help me out.
Well, best of luck to you, despite, you know, your flaws.
Well, you don't mind me saying, I think we're pretty similar. You seem to be as almost as judgmental as me. Almost. You're not quite there yet, but if you practice, I'm sure you'll get there.
I only let it out when I feel it's appropriate to match other people's attitudes. Anyway, I'm gonna go sit on the other side of the cell because I'm starting to feel a fury build up inside of me.
You saying that out loud? Or you're just saying?
No, I'll say it out loud.
Oh, okay. Just curious. All right. Well, if you guys are done talking, because we're around for a few more minutes, and lo and behold, you hear the sounds of footsteps, like a large procession making their way down the hall of, you know, these rows of cells, and you see a large gathering of dwarven soldiers dressed in really fancy armor. And in the center of them, you can make out a female dwarf that's dressed in very regal-looking armor herself, adorned in jewels and gems, and they're being led by one of the prison guards, and they make their way over to you guys' cell. The prison guard opens the door and looks to you, Serveus, and says, "Come on, you're getting let out."
Great. I wave Corvus.
Well, looks like you're not a plebeian. But if you're not one, you should dress better.
And get my noble clothes all dirty from all the goat work I have to do. I'm sure you understand my situation.
Yeah, I still don't know why you're doing goat work if you're so important. Dwarves.
Who? I mean,
Weird
what
folk.
what is important? Are you calling me queer?
No, I'm just implying that you're homosexual.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Not a big deal.
It's a common misunderstanding. Anyway, good luck in the cell.
Yeah, good luck with the goats.
All right.
Rates of all time.
Well, Serveus, you exit the cell. You get swallowed in the sea of dwarven soldiers, and you meet with the smile of Mother Gurdra, whose smile doesn't reach her eyes, and you are led away. But you're led away by this company proceeding, and Corvus watches you leave with them. But the guard's still standing there with the door open, and he looks to Corvus then and says, "You're coming outside too." Meryl's awake, and she has a final request to see you.
Well, let's go see the old gal.
Should I leave her? Wait, what?
I'll just use me for a sound effect. Like I was patting his shoulder.
You don't have to leave if you don't want to. It's up to you.
Well, player knowledge and whatnot.
I understand.
Just give me a moment.
Nope, let's start right now while you're here.
I got no stuff. Okay, so the guard, you follow the guard, and he leads you out of the barracks, which is situated within the guard hall building. He leads you across the way a short distance to the
Oh,
soldier barracks.
I thought that was your skin for a second.
Oh, no.
It felt weird.
Icky. To the soldier barracks, where you would assume he's leading you to where the healer's medical clinic is, and lo and behold, he does. He leads you into it's one of like conjoining rooms. It's a very massive room that has multiple rooms inside of them for different sorts of patients. He leads you down a few doors before stopping by one that seems to be guarded by several soldiers, and he turns to you and says, "You only got about a few minutes. I'll call you when your meeting's done."
Alright.
He just motions to the door for you to go in yourself.
I open the door.
All right. It's a very small room. He's got like a chair, maybe a cabinet with some drawers, and then the bed that Meryl is laying in. She's covered mostly by some like heavy woolen sheets. Really only part of her body that's exposed is her head. And you see like her long flowing red hair is kind of splayed out, and she looks at you, and there's not really like she kind of almost has dead eyes like that Inquisitor, but you see him kind of soften when you enter the room, and she says, "Corvus, why am I not surprised?"
Close the door behind me. Surprised? You called me.
Well, not exactly, but we'll get to that. Can you please take the seat near me?
I pull up the seat next to her.
She kind of just, oh, maybe if you don't say anything the right way, she kind of just watches you as you sit down, kind of like staring into your face with a, kind of like a more like she's taking you in more than she's ever had before. Like she's giving you more notice.
You crazy bitch. We did it. Why? Why did you do it? You realize how much trouble I'm in now?
She kind of just closes her eyes and takes a few deep breaths and says, "I don't regret the outcome with that war chief dying, and I didn't think I would regret what would happen to my squad, but
Did you finally grow some compassion?
I am surprised," she says, opening her eyes, looking back at you. "For the first time in my life, I am surprised."
By what? That you'd end up in a hospital bed with your arm and leg nearly useless? That your whole squad's being questioned for treason, I assume? Things are crazy, Meryl. I could never have predicted this mission ending like this.
She takes a few breaths. She says, "No, all of that was expected from the start. What was surprising was you, Corvus. Just you.
Oh yeah?
I know who your father is. Arthas Corvus."
Well, I mean, unfortunately I didn't exactly make it that hard of a puzzle. I did take his last name as my first name.
Yes, I always had a suspicion, but your father, he asked me when you joined my squad to look after you, to keep you safe. I'm guessing you never knew that.
No, me and my old man aren't exactly on speaking terms, though I'm sure he wishes we were.
She just kind of stares at you and says, "He made a promise to me in return for looking after you. You see, I had a child many years ago. I was not allowed to see that child. I didn't even know what gender it was. It was taken away from me the moment I gave birth to it. He promised, after this mission, your father came to me and said, all I have to do is ask, make it my final request. I simply asked him to see my child. He left, and then you entered." Corvus, this might be hard to hear, but you're my son, and I am your mother.
Yeah, no. Look, Meryl, I know you're crazy. I know you probably want to give me one last fuck you before you die. But this is beyond low, even for you.
Corvus, I'm not lying to you. I swear with every fiber of my being. I was with your father. We had a relationship years ago, but he was already a married man. And when we had a child, we couldn't bring ourselves to get rid of it. So, of course, eventually they found out, and the only way I could keep you alive was to let you go.
So, even if it is true, what do you want from me now? I love you, Mom. I wish you were there when I grew up. Fuck you. You know what? Just lay in that bed and die. I don't even want to look at your face. Might as well cover it up. It's as ugly as a horse's ass, anyway.
Corvus, you say these things now, but I know you don't truly mean them. I wanted you to know because I don't think I'm gonna live much longer. I wanted you to know that you had a mother that did care for you, that did love you. I'm just sorry things turn out the way it is, the way it have. I don't know what much has occurred, but I know you've probably taken most of the blame of what's happened. I will do everything in my power to make sure that blame falls on me and you come out a free man.
What? You think I need your help? You think you're doing me a favor? You think that just because now it's been revealed to you that I'm your son, that now everything's okay? You killed people. Meryl, you killed people. You led them to your deaths for your own personal glory. You may be my mother by blood, if it's even true, but at this point, I don't want anything to do with you. You could not give me all the gold and all the power in this kingdom for me to spend 5 more minutes in this room with you. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, if you have anything to say before you die, you've got 30 seconds before I walk through that door.
Corvus, I think I'm pregnant. It's just a hunch, but they are using that to keep me alive until more proof is found. But I think I'm pregnant, Corvus. I needed you to know. I needed to know who my son was, because if I have this child, I do not think the father would want him. I understand your feelings for me, but you cannot, please, I beg you not to hold any ill will over this child that I might have. If anything happens to me, Corvus...
How far along are you? Like, when...
It's probably only been a few months. I've just been feeling... during the mission, I felt queasy and...
What's gonna... If you're gonna fucking die... There's no way you can save this kid if it's only a few months along.
They're going to keep me alive, at least until they know for sure that I'm pregnant. Then, after I have the baby, judgment will fall on my head. Corvus, you're the only family I have left. I know it's asking too much, but I need to know this child will not just be thrown to the hounds as soon as he's free of me. I'm not asking you to do this for me. I'm asking you to do it for my child.
Your 30 seconds is up.
Bwam, bwam, bwam. Lucius, could you please come down?
Hello.
Hi. All right, so
It's cold as shit in here right now.
Alright, so what are we doing? Where are we at?
well, the last we left you off, you had made your plans with Sylvanas, and you were going down the mess hall with Thef. I'm guessing you guys are just kind of bonding and eating and sharing whatever stories y'all might share between an elf and a bird.
And his bird.
Yes.
No strong is, or no bond is stronger.
People are giving you odd looks, of course, the other soldiers and whatnot, but those odd looks are mixed in with those familiar looks you've seen in the soldiers and the people who helped journey you to the kingdom. You know, people seem to be looking at you with a mixture of awe, fear, horror. Like, these are looks. Usually, people would kind of like, if they did notice you, is because you know you're a beautiful elf, and those things are rare commodities here. But now it's like, this is kind of almost unwanted attention. Hey, master,
Yes, Fat?
he says as he's chewing some cooked meat greedily. Do these people hate you?
I don't think so, but then again, with the way things have been going lately, I have no idea what this is about. But, I see you've also picked up on it.
Yeah, they don't look nice, but they look like you. Got the same, like, stuff on your body.
Stuff. What do you
Yeah,
mean
that
stuff?
stuff that he kind of, like, clicks his beak against one of your shoulder, like, pads. This stuff. You guys wear the same stuff.
You mean armor?
Yeah, that stuff.
Well, yeah, we're all part of the military.
So you guys are like, you know, a murder.
Yeah, you could think about it like that. We're a murder of soldiers.
Yeah, you guys are like me and my brothers and sisters. Except my brothers and sisters don't look at me the way they look at you.
Well,
Do something bad?
I think the looks are coming from just the simple fact that I was out killing demons, and now I'm back.
That was pretty impressive, Master. I saw a lot of it. It was cool.
And I'm sure these people they just don't understand, Feth. They just don't understand.
Hopefully they understand one day, though, right?
That is the plan.
So what happened to those other people that you were with? The one with the hammer, the one with the weird hair on his face.
Well, MC Hammer is in prison, apparently. And,
What's a prison?
Have you ever been put on timeout?
Sometimes.
Or been in trouble and you are scolded for it?
I ain't never been in trouble, but some of my brothers and sisters who did bad, we plucked their feathers out.
See, it's kind of like that, only for us bigger skin-covered creatures. We have this thing called prison, which is basically your feathers get plucked out.
For how long?
Depends on your crime.
Huh.
As far as MC Hammer is concerned, I have no idea. But as soon as I finish eating here, I plan to find out.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go down to the prison and I'm going to request a formal inquiry as to the status of Corvus. What is his first name?
His first
First
name's
last
Corvus. Oh, Banner.
Banner. Yeah. Of Corvus Banner.
Well, I don't know what all those words mean, Master, but you sound confident, and that's good.
Yeah. I almost sound like I know what I'm doing. But Fat,
Yes, Master?
how do you like cooked meat?
It's wonderful. It's almost better than eyes.
That almost okay. You know that's really cute the way you say things like that.
Well, thank you.
Shit, I forgot what I had a plan outside, now I forgot it.
Wait, like involving
Involving theft. Yeah.
having him go find somebody, having him send more letters.
Okay. Theft.
Hi, Master.
Once you're done eating and you've had your fill, I want you to basically kind of perch around the city. And if the name Orion comes up, I want you to pay closer attention to whoever says that name. And if at all possible, if you're able to find that person, Orion, that they are talking about, more specifically High Lord Orion, I want you to spy on him for me, but I want you to check in to me every few hours, even if you've got no progress.
Okay, Master. How long should I be doing this for?
I'm not exactly sure how long, but I promise it won't be too long.
Okay, Master.
Maybe a day or two at the most.
I miss you when I'm gone for too long, Master.
Don't worry, buddy. We'll see each other. I'll make sure every time we get together, I'll have some cooked meat for you.
Hooray!
Maybe an eyeball if I can swing it. I don't know about that though.
I'd very much appreciate that, Master.
Oh, it'd be no problem. Be no problem at all.
So, Orion, is he something like you?
He's got more power than me.
That's not good, Master.
Well, it's not good for him, because men of power are always the ones that fall the hardest.
That makes sense to Fef. Fef has no power, but he hasn't fallen yet.
See? That's exactly right, Feth.
I understand. And he takes a big gobble of a piece of ham before just taking off from your shoulder, flying out through one of the top windows in the mess hall.
Alright, I want to do an observation to in the mess hall, are people like obviously avoiding me and like watching me? Or
Yeah,
is it more of a subtle type thing?
the watching you is a little more subtle, but you are obviously being avoided. Like you're sitting alone in a big section of a table. You know, this table is meant for like 10 to 20 people, and you're kind of alone for a big part of it. It's kind of odd.
Well, I want to use
Oh, yeah.
observation. Well,
Just the section you and I would have assumed, like there's kind of like a clique thing with the SS members. You know, they and the regular soldiers share like the building, but the SS members kind of like have their own little section of places, like the mess halls and stuff. I would imagine you stuck with that section of. Okay, so yeah, most of the people around you are fellow SS soldiers. Just so you are aware.
alright.
What you want to do?
I want to do observation to see if anyone's paying too much attention to me.
Too much attention? Okay. Roll your observation, good sir. I'll say it is an obstacle 3.
Alright, I wish to fork in.
Any daily book.
Tactics?
Tactics. How you gonna fork in tactics?
Because I have to be tactful in that if people are watching me, I have to know who's watching me too much. As in, I have to be extra observant in a smarter way.
Oh, interrogation. I can see in tactics then. You can fork in tactics. Okay.
And hopefully I make it. Otherwise, might be bad. Damn.
So what is your task and your intent exactly?
My task is to kind of, like as subtly as I can, I want to watch the people around me to see if there's anyone like you know how you always know when someone's watching you? Well, I want to be able to notice, or the idea is to be able to notice anyone who's paying too much attention to me. Where
And
they're
then-
like, I look at them and they immediately like
Yeah.
type thing.
So what's your, and then that's your task, and what's your intent, like?
To see if I'm being watched, like, other than the fact that, you know, having this reputation and all these rumors going around, if there's anyone, like, spying on me or
I see.
keeping an unwanted eye on me.
Okay. Well, you look around, and you do meet the eyes of someone familiar who seems to be not bashful that you see him, but glaring daggers right back at you. It happens to be Dirk Travers, that one soldier that were accompanied with on the way back. He's sitting like kind of on a separate table, just kind of have his hands folded and just glaring at you. You stare back at him.
Alright, I'm going to get up from the table. Is there people all around him?
There's people around him, yeah.
Alright.
It's pretty it's like mid-afternoon.
When he get up from the table, is he eating? Or is he just like watching me?
You see there's food there, but it's like untouched.
Alright, I'm gonna get up from my table. I'm going to walk over to him and I ask him if I can have a moment to speak to him.
He kind of he stares at you for a moment before just nodding and just kind of stands up abruptly.
I'm guessing like there's like a little,
You guys
I
are
guess
s-
like a courtyard type area outside somewhere that's a little bit like not populated.
kind of secluded.
Yeah.
If you wanted, you could take him to the where people like where the most of the soldiers sleep, because that'd be kind of
The barracks.
yeah, like it's like all the bunk beds and stuff.
Mhm.
Because it'd be kind of empty. If you want to do it there.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
Let's go there. Hey, how have you been? How you been holding up?
Just kind of shakes his head, kind of like rubbing it. Says, I honestly don't know. I don't know how I've been. Everything's all fucked up.
Well, of course things are fucked up. You see where we live, the times that we live in.
Just, I don't know what to think anymore. Honestly, I don't know what to think. I'm mad at you, but I can't explain it.
Well, let's get to the bottom of this. Why exactly are you mad at me?
I feel like it's you, Corvus, and that criminal's fault that we were ambushed, like it was a trap or a setup. Was it? Were you in league with those people trying to kill the king?
Absolutely not. We had no idea that was about to happen.
It seems too goddamn coincidental. We go out there to save you guys, which is bullshit from the start, and then we bring you back and
Let me ask you this. How do you propose that I would have, or that we would have staged an ambush like that, not even knowing that you and the king and the caravan were on the way to come and save us, to which we actually drew blades on the king when we saw him, or we were ready to. So, you want to tell me again how we could set up an ambush when we've been surrounded by you the whole time?
well, listen, the whole time you guys were weeks out in the woods. Who knows who was waiting with you guys or meeting up with you guys? We had no contact with y'all for weeks. That's what started this whole you guys going against the king and Orion and his nobles rising up, calling for blood because you guys went off the map. No Falcon letters, no anything.
Are you daft?
What do you mean?
Like really, are you daft? Because you obviously have no idea the intricacies, planning, and time it would take to set up an ambush, especially one on the king. Now, I know you've got some sort of wits about you, so I'm going to assume that you know that we follow orders in the Suicide Squad. just like everyone else, given to who? Our squad leaders. Or given by who? Our squad leaders. We do what we're told from them. Now, what they're told and what they tell us can be two vastly different things. But regardless, we are to do what we're told.
He kind of just shakes his head. He's like, I don't know. I don't know. People just, they talk, and okay, you can call it racism, but people are, ever since your kind showed up, people, you know, they got problems with it.
Alright, I wish to use interrogation to find out what kind of problems.
All right. So let's look up what interrogation would be going against. Probably will, but let me just double check that in case it's different. HI. That's traits. Skills. And okay. Obstacles is the current will exponent of the person being interrogated, plus any traits, plus situational disadvantages, like the victim has beliefs that prevent him from revealing what is being sought. Alright. Obstacle will be 3 because his will is 3.
Alright, I want to fork in observation and keep an eye on his body language and see if he's like, you know, averting his gaze, that type of thing.
Oh, before I forget, what was your observation roll that you rolled? Like, how many dice did you roll for your observation that time?
3.
3 total?
Oh yeah.
It was a difficult test for observation. Okay. So you're rolling,
Interrogation.
what were you going to say?
So what exactly have people been saying about us, the elves? 2. Fate.
Okay. He kind of darts his eyes around the room. You can see he's already starting to perspire, like he's incredibly nervous. He just says, "Look, this doesn't reflect what I think, okay? Just what I've been hearing. But ever since you guys showed up, just the way that Sylvanas has gotten to power, but not officially being a High Lord, people worry that she's not under any direct authority from the king, that she can do whatever she wants, and that you guys came here with plans to overthrow the king and take control of his kingdom, you know, because you guys, well, lost y'all's kingdom, so you wanted to find the closest one. People just think that you guys have some sort of great plan to kill the king and take his place."
So, let me get this straight. 17 elves are in this city that have any type of power, like real power. And you think the 17 of us are going to be able to overthrow an entire kingdom just like that? That makes sense to you humans?
Well, not alone, but I mean, come on, you know you guys are good at fighting. I mean, I fought with some of the song swords in my own squads, and you know, they can clean house pretty good. And I'm not saying y'all plan on doing it alone. I mean, maybe you guys are striking up deals. I mean, I saw those things that were attacking us, little cloaked whatever things. Maybe you guys are making deals with them. I don't know. Like I said, this.
Listen to me, boy. Listen to me. Maybe you don't realize this about elves, but all of us hate, maybe not hate, maybe that's too strong of a word, but we definitely strongly dislike anyone who's not elven. For you to suggest that that we would ask and beg for help in order to overthrow a kingdom that took us in, you don't even know how laughable that is. Do all humans think that? Are all humans that dumb?
Well, it's just people get nervous when they encounter things they don't understand, I guess. I mean, if you say elves don't like other races, then what's I mean, why would they willingly serve under an Orcish king then?
Don't get it twisted. We're not serving under an orc king for the simple fact of serving under him. What are we to do? 17 of us. You think we can just go off and start our own little city? In whose territory? In what territory? Everything's been staked out either by orcs or other kingdoms or whoever. All of them hostile towards us at this point. We had to find somewhere. This is where we found. This is who took us in. Of course we're going to serve the people who take us in. It's a debt that must be repaid.
Look, like I said, I just... All I know is Graves died. Travis looked like he was dead, and I don't have anyone to blame but you and your squad. If Merrill didn't take you guys out there, none of this would have ever happened. I don't know what to do about my anger, but just have to blame somebody.
Tell you what. Blaming anyone for anything without any knowledge or facts to back it up, you have to know is not the smartest route to go. I get that you might be angry. I'm not exactly sure at what or for what reason exactly. But the best way to take your anger out, right now at least, go find someone to spar with. Make yourself extremely tired and sleep, and I promise you'll feel better. Maybe you're thinking too much into things. Maybe I'm not thinking enough into it. But you know what? I'm not the one overly stressed. So just sit back, look at the whole situation, calm down. And then I put my hand on your shoulder.
He kind of flinches into your hand, but you kind of see him just take a deep breath, and he says, okay, I think I just want to stay around here and think about things for a while.
Probably a good idea. Now, a little later tonight, maybe. This is not a guaranteed thing, but I'm definitely going to need a drink after the day I've just had. So, later tonight, why don't you join me at the, what are they called? Taverns?
Yeah.
Taverns. Why don't you join me at the tavern, we'll have a drink, and I'll show you what the attitude of a true elf is.
He kind of like lets out a laugh that he was probably trying to keep in. Like, okay, I guess that sounds like, okay.
Alright. Take it easy, my boy. And like I said, don't stress too much over things you can't even control. And I turn to start walking out.
Okay. You hear him say, Lucius, roll speed really fast.
Son of a bitch. I'm going to kill this son of a bitch.
This motherfucker.
Alright. Be a fool. And dang! 2.
What? Alright.
Sweet.
You suddenly feel the way he says your name, you feel the hairs in your neck rise, and you spin around just as his sword tip goes piercing through the air that you once stood in.
Alright. Are we going into like a combat thing? Or
Yeah. I'll give you an option. We can either make this a full-on fight or do bloody versus.
What is bloody versus?
Bloody versus is where you take your sword skill, and then I tell you what advantage dice you get for attack and what advantage dice you get for defense. You split your sword skill into attack and defense. Has to be at least 1 in each one, and then I tell you what bonuses you get based on certain situational circumstances. Then we both roll. Usually it's whoever gets a hit, they're the victor, and they say what happens when they win. So it's quicker, but I guess you have less control, whereas fight's a little bit longer, but, you know.
I haven't done that one yet, so
wanna try
let's try that one.
Bloody Versus?
Yes.
Alright.
So I take my 5 for sword.
Yes, and then split them into attack and defense.
Can I try forking anything in?
I think so. Let me look real quick. I'm pretty sure you can. Just
Because I'm just wondering if I'd be able to like fork in like my armor and shield
that's bonus dice you're going to be getting because you have that stuff.
towards my defense.
Yes, you actually get a good bit because of that. Fight. Let me just see if you can fork any what you call it? Your skills. Skills. Yes, I'm pretty sure you can. Just let's see, picking your battles, bloody versus tests. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Alright. Both players have either weapon skills plus forks and other advantages. Okay, so you can fork things in.
Like tactics, because I'm tactical.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking to be a move or two ahead.
Right.
Observation, because I'm obviously going to keep an extremely close eye on him, being that he is an enemy.
He's gonna take if you want to take that as a fork, he's gonna take it as a fork too because he has an observation.
I'm cool with that. So, I don't want to use the blubber dice. They don't roll well for me. Alright, and then, you said, so like armor shield and like armor training would all be
Yeah,
like
you just
defense?
get armor training. Basically, is like normal people can't wear armor very well because you have armor training. That means like the armor doesn't bog you down when you're doing simple things like climbing or whatever. But yeah, you're gonna get advantage. You're gonna get advantage to your defense because of armor, just like he is, because he's wearing armor. Just probably not. He's not as equipped as you are. All right, so yeah, just take the dice you have right now and split them off, and I'll tell you what you get to add to your attack.
Alright, so I already have the 4 for defense, right? So do 5 on defense
5 on defense and 1 on attack.
and 6 on attack.
5 on defense, 6 on attack.
No, I like
Well-
don't these count as the defense as well, or is that?
Oh no, you just
Or am I thinking about it wrong?
You just gotta take your sword skill and the forks that you picked, and then you split that pool right there into attack and defense.
3 on defense, 4 on attack.
All right, he's doing 4 on attack and 1 on defense, and then, all right, we both have the same length weapon, so none of that matters. When appropriate, 2 versus armor, blah blah blah. All right, so what is the VA of your sword versus armor?
It's a dash.
Is it? Alright, so I guess it doesn't get any versus armor things. That doesn't matter, so it's same concurrency as a sword too. Alright, short weapon versus armor. Okay, so then just defense. You said you have a shield?
Yes.
So that's 1 dice, 2 defense. You're wearing heavy mail, correct?
Yes.
So that's 3 dice to defense.
Holy shit.
He gets 2 dice because he's wearing a light mail. Alright, so I'll roll my well, yeah, we can both roll our attacks and then roll our defense. Just roll your attacks and then your defenses, and I'll do the same attribute.
Can you do art points on these?
Yes, you may. He also has Arthur points too, though. It's not that much.
1 successful attack.
Okay, and then roll your defense, please. 4 successes.
Yeah, might as well do
If you want to wait, you don't have to spend your points. Let's see what he gets first.
and then I can spin it after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we can do it at the same time. I'm just gonna I'm just doing the micro thing right now. So his attack, he got 1 success. His defense is 2 successes. So basically, you guys both strike at each other, but neither managed to land a blow. So neither side hits. It's a titanic struggle that leads to a deadlock. No wounds are suffered. The side with the most defense successes decides what happens next. We both just had 1, so that's a tie. Or was
Oh,
it just
wait.
no? We all want one attack. I think he had. Okay, you get to decide what happens next. It says you can do another round of fighting, though preferably with a different skill. You can do a fort versus test to outlast your opponent, a power test to subdue your opponent, or a speed test to escape. Or you can both agree to call it a draw. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to agree to call it a draw.
I have to do a different skill than sword.
It's preferably, yeah. Preferably, because you guys just realize that you both are kind of equally matched with swords, so it's like, okay, we need to try something else.
Okay, but if I did sword again, could I get to split up the dice differently?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say we can do it one more time, but if it comes in a deadlock, we're going to have to try something new, because that's at the point where it's like, okay. Because this is like a deadly versus, like a test. It's more than just like one blow. It's like you guys are like hitting each other, like parrying blows and hitting armor that won't pierce. You guys just went through a good bout before coming up.
Okay.
Nothing.
I'm going to do.
Just so you know, for story-wise too, when he's attacking you, there's not really any form behind it, and he's like screaming with like blood rage that, you know, he's trying to really run you down.
Okay.
Just again, so you know what's going on. Okay, so you're gonna do the same thing.
I'm gonna do 6 on attack, and I threw 1 towards my defense, and I still get the same amount for the last time on defense.
Yeah, should have the same amount.
Okay. So 6 on attack and 5 on defense.
Okay, he's gonna do. Trying to remember his. He got 4 base, 3 on attack, 1 on defense. No VA. So then, oh yeah, his observation, and then the 3. Wasn't it? Observation, 3. Right now. Okay. Okay. All right. So you roll your attack and your defense.
Dang.
2 successes.
So I'm gonna do a little bit better than that. My defense.
Right. Again, I'll let you wait and see what happens with his stuff.
Oh shit.
His attack is 2, but he is going to spend a fate point to get. Try to get more. Nope. He's got 2.
Bitch.
Can't do shit. And then his defense. So again, we are in deadlock, but I think he's got more defense successes, so.
Can I do the fate point?
Oh yeah, you can do a fate point. Go for it, I'm sorry.
Complete deadlock! Oh.
Oh. Alright. So what he's going to do is he just throws his sword aside and just tries to get you in like a bout of power.
Okay, so it's like we do a like roll off on power.
Yes.
So it's my power versus his.
Yes.
What's his power?
3.
Mine 4.
He's not as strong as you. And then yeah, again we get to do the whole splitting it up how you want. Or maybe that's just well.
Well, I would think with a power stroke. Well, I thought with stat checks.
Yeah,
you
it's
couldn't
versus. Unless I don't know, maybe it's different in bloody versus. You can, because you could do like, you guys would be hitting each other, and still get the same whatevers.
Well, I still got my sword, but I'm not gonna do that again. Now I'm pissed.
Yeah. Let's see, fort test. Yeah, I guess it's versus test. So I guess just be straight your power versus his power.
We're gonna get into like one of those Peter Griffin fist fights with the
The
chicken.
chicken. Yeah, you guys have like kind of tore up some of the beds and furniture by now with your sword play.
I got 3 successes.
He's got 1 success. So you beat him in a bout of power. How do you do this?
Alright.
You can, like I said, you can subdue him. You can even kill him. It's really up to you because you win.
Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. Obviously, I break his hold and kind of like push kick him back against the wall. And like as he's coming for me, I kind of like slip to the side and pull my arm around his neck and then cinch in a sleeper. And like cinch it in, not to kill him, but to
Knock him out. Yeah, he fights against it like brutally. Like he's trying to claw and hit and kick and bite, but there's nothing he can do at this point. He just slowly falls.
Fades away.
Yeah, slowly, like he's falling asleep in your arms.
Alright, and then both of you. Can I do something like after he's unconscious?
What are you gonna do?
Alright,
You do hear footsteps coming, but you have some time.
Alright, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to prick his cheek with the little bone dagger that I have
Mm-hmm.
to see the color of his blood.
All right. You prick his cheek, and the blood comes out red.
Okay, good. Just, I gotta double check it now.
Just checking.
And then I'm going to, before footsteps get to me, I'm gonna start calling out for help.
For help.
Like, man down. Man down.
All right. Let's get Dolan in on here.
Red Rover, send Dolan on. So are we?
Yeah, you're still staying here.
So, yeah. I just had the most amazing thing happen, shit.
All right. You're tired. All right, Dolan. You finished your little conversation with Gooby. This was all outside of like the in between the barracks and the guard halls and the soldier barracks, and whatever you intended on doing, you kind of interrupted when you hear sounds of like cries, and there's people kind of running past you towards the soldier barracks, screaming that there's been some sort of fight, and you hear like among the people shouting, you hear the description of one of these men as being a very large, dark-skinned elf. Someone you might be familiar with.
I go over to see what's going on.
Right. Well, you follow the procession of soldiers, and they lead you up through. The kind of the crowd goes up through the building up some stairs to where the living quarters are, and you see kind of like a gathering of soldiers surrounding the scene of none other than Lucius, Dirk, who's lying on the ground like he's dead or unconscious, and then a man you aren't familiar with, but Lucius might be. He is High Lord Orion. He's a
This nigga here. Oh my god.
He's-
This nigga here.
he's about middle aged. He's got kind of neatly trimmed beard. He's got some graying hairs though, and he's got a very furious look in his eyes as he's busy screaming at Lucius. What the hell happened in here, boy? Tell me right now.
Me and Dirk were just having a conversation, and I go to leave the room, and suddenly he's trying to run me through with his blade. This is pure self-defense.
Why in the hell would he do that?
I have no idea. He
Kinda-
was screaming incoherently at me.
He kind of looks over, and some soldiers kind of nodding, like, yeah, we heard some screams. It sounded like Dirk. Kind of like he calls over some soldiers to go up and kind of like try to rouse Dirk, but he's like, they're kind of slapping his cheeks, but he's just,
Oh no, I had that sleeper.
yeah, he's not coming around. Orion just kind of like rubs his furry eyebrows. Look, just once he comes through, you're gonna meet with me in my office. We're gonna have some words about what happened here.
The only way. Alright, let me not word it in the way I was about to. To get myself into a lot of trouble, you know. I'll make sure to do that, and I'll make sure Sylvanas is with me, so she can hear it too.
Yes, I truly hope you do. He kind of just turns. He kind of. All right, come on, get him out of here. Everyone, clear out. Party's over. Let's move. Everyone kind of starts to file away. Two of the soldiers kind of pick up Dirk's limp form and
And as they're picking him up, I kind of like yell at them, "Watch it! It's a good man right there. It's a good man."
kind of like,
Over Mr. Hinkle. Choked him out.
yeah, as everyone's partying, it kind of like reveals Dolan, who's just kind of just standing there. He's revealed out of the crowds, more or less dispersed.
Dolan!
What's been going on?
Well, I mean, as you can see, some stuff happened. I was having a conversation with young Dirk here in the barracks, and just as we finished the conversation, I turned to leave, and he tried to impale me with his sword.
What was the last thing you said to him?
I think you said.
I invited him for drinks to the tavern later tonight, so that I could show him what a true elf's attitude is.
Well.
In a good way, not in like a, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass tonight at the bar. No, it was like we were gonna go and like pal around.
That seems odd.
And bond.
What was the overall conversation about?
He expressed some concerns that himself and many of the people here have had about our suicide squad and the questionable command decisions that were made during this last mission. And I was trying to help set the record straight in that we follow orders from whoever's above us. We don't really have a choice other than to follow those orders. So what occurred wasn't really your fault, my fault, or Corvus's fault. More or less, Meryl's.
All these people have such strong opinions on things they don't experience.
See, that's what I tried to. And this son of a bitch accused me of, or really accused us of staging that ambush on the caravan earlier. Now, personally, I had nothing to do with it. I would imagine you wouldn't either, since you spend most of the time chained to a fucking pole hole. But yeah, and Corvus doesn't really seem like. Okay, maybe he does. But I know Corvus, and he wouldn't have done something like that. So, but yeah, apparently some people blame that ambush on us as an attack on the king. And also, he expressed some.
Was he one of them?
One of them who.
Did he believe?
He said that he personally did not, but not too sure if I believe that.
Yeah.
Considering what just fucking happened. But I'll give it to the boy. Me and him we were actually fairly even in our swordplay, to the point where he had to try to grab me, but I slipped out, kicked him against the wall, slipped past him, and got that choke on him. But besides the point.
Looked like you held it a little too long there. You've been out for a while.
He tried to kill me. I think it was necessary to cause some brain damage, maybe, but hopefully not too much.
Okay. At this point, Dolan, you feel something fall from your belt, and as it falls and lands with a thud, Lucius, you feel like your stomach just drops. Like, you went down a steep hill, and your stomach did that whole drop thing.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
Is it a doll?
It's been, like, at Dolan's feet, you see a doll. It is a doll. It's a large doll with darker skin than the doll that you have. It's large and has flowing white hair coming from its head. It just lays there.
What the fuck is that?
Wait, hold on. How did this appear on me? It hit.
It fell
Just
from your
fell.
belt.
And What the hell? Alright, so I pick it up and I put it in my bag.
Like, don't worry about it.
Let's see, my character.
Go on, I want you to take a fate point first before you keep going, because your really got me. So fate point for humor, because we haven't done that in a while, and it feels good, you know? Feels good, man.
Alright, I need to take a fate point. I used 2 of them during that.
Hey, make sure you keep track of what you're spending them on, especially because, you know, sword play. You can.
So basically, something falls from my belt, and then he feels sick.
And you felt that feeling you get when, like, your stomach, you know when you're getting a roller coaster, you go down like a steep drop and you just feel your stomach sort of rise up, like, you know that feeling? That's what he felt.
God, that was it was so weird just now. Felt like I was just falling.
What do you think could have caused that?
The fuck if I know?
I grab the doll, I turn around real quick, poke it with my knife
Where do you poke it with your knife?
in the back.
In the back?
You're gonna stab me in the back now, you bastard?
Well, Lucius, you feel stinging pain in your back, like something just like stabbed you, and you feel wetness as blood seeps from the wound
What the
underneath your armor.
What the hell was that? I'm like feeling my armor, noticing that there's no puncture. But I slip my hand underneath the armor in the back. And I'm
Oh yeah,
bleeding.
take a B3 from the poke.
Oh, damn.
Son of a bitch, chick. You have given me a superficial wound.
Alright, so while I'm turning around, I put it in my bag, and I say, dude, I don't know, something seems kind of off, you might want to go see it.
Son of a bitch.
Well, if you he
Check
is
out.
I've got bigger things to deal with right now than this bullshit.
Are you bleeding?
Yes, I'm bleeding,
Oh,
and I don't know why.
maybe it had to do with that fight you just had. Well, that could have been it.
No,
Could've.
no, I'm pretty sure I was not stabbed in the back. Not to mention, my armor's fine.
That's weird.
What did you have in your hands a second ago?
This knife, but I've been here the whole time.
No. Why do you have your knife out?
I just came across an old
he always
friend.
he always draws his knife when surprised.
Yeah.
What did you have in your hand besides the knife a second
You
ago?
could have, you know,
That you just turned around while facing me during a conversation to do.
you did. I think you did see the doll drop from him. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. You just
I reach into my bag and okay, so I have my doll on me too.
yes.
All right, I say, oh, just this doll right here. I hand on mine.
Oh. Whoa.
You hold the doll. You see that, unbeknownst to Dolan, who just handed it over, it's pale, but also has a scraggly-looking mullet hair, a beard, but no eyes or a face besides that.
Huh. You know, kind of. You know, hold it upside down, and like, kind of looks like you, don't you think? Wait, is this the one? Is this the one that from the orc encampment?
Yes, actually. Well, no, it's not. What? I think I picked it up from one of the orcs I killed.
Oh. Oh, by the way, do you have mine?
The orc encampment was that guy we assassinated. Right?
that was the one I took.
Yeah.
By the way, do you still have mine?
When would I have gotten yours?
When we were in the caravan, you don't remember riding up to me asking me to see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, so you do have it. You do have it.
Yeah.
You think I can get it back?
I mean, sure.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to drop it. Pick it back up.
well, you drop it on its head, and Dolan, you feel kind of like a horrible headache just kind of overwhelm your senses for a few seconds.
But I play it off like nothing happened.
Well, but you said you had mine, right? I think I'd like it back. I want to have Sylvanas look at it, see if maybe she can derive anything off of it.
Yeah, I left it back at my place. I'll bring it back to you later.
At your place?
Yeah.
At what, your prison cell?
Well, I mean,
Dolan,
I gave
what's
it-
wrong, Dolan?
I actually gave it to Corvus. I wanted him to take a look at it.
Oh,
then,
really?
Then I took mine back too.
You took yours back as well, is what you just said.
Like I
right?
took mine back, but yours is still with Corvus.
But you just said you took yours back too. Where's my dog?
Should be with Corvus.
You're just not making any sense, Dolan.
I mean, your doll is.
Well, I think I'm gonna have Sylvanas look at these dogs to see if there's anything to be told from the.
I already got my doll back, right?
No.
He still holds your doll.
Well, I would kind of like to have that one back.
Yeah. No. I think I'm gonna have Sylvanas look at it.
Who is Sylvanas?
He's the leader of the White Towers, not in a order.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's illegal to just take my stuff.
I'm sorry. Are you assuming that someone in this city is gonna believe you, a prisoner, over someone like me, who has a prestigious military career? You don't want to play this game with me, Dolan. I'm taking this doll back to Sylvanas. And I put it into my pouch.
Okay. Well,
We need all the information we can get right now, especially on these orbs. We need to know how they work.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right then. By the way, I was just about to go and see what's going on with Corvus. Did you want to tag along?
This old friend of mine's been trying to get me to come visit him. I've been thinking about stopping by.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. You do have your freedom back. I suppose that, I mean, obviously I'm not forcing you to do anything or anything like that. But, I'll tell Corvus you said hello in prison where you once were. So I'm sure you know how bad that is.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it is pretty terrible, especially when you have no one to come visit you.
I mean, I'll stop by Corvus' place and see him later. But I mean, I'm busy right now.
By Corvus's place, you mean jail.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, you know, we've been through a lot lately, and the three of us still need to figure out what's going on. Especially with this new information of people not trusting us specifically and blaming us for the attack.
It's true. That is very much true.
So I think I'm gonna go see what they're trying to charge him with. See if I can help him out of his bond right quick, right fast.
Okay. So I wait for him to turn around, and I take out the doll and I cut the head off.
Do you really?
Let me try something else first. Let me try something else.
Before you cut the head off?
I'm gonna.
I sure hope I don't land with my right hip down on that pouch.
I'm
God forbid the doll be crushed under my weight.
I'm a stealth roll. So, what is it? A D6.
Yeah, you get your, what's your exponent on your stealth? And that's how many d6s you get to roll.
A 4.
So you get to roll 4 dice, unless you have any forks you want to put in, like from your other skills that you think is relevant to give you bonus dice.
Would I be able to do anything
Inconspicuous?
against this?
Let me see. It's,
Like perhaps observation?
yeah, I think it would be versus your observation. So yeah, if there's any skills that you have besides stealthy that you want to tell me is relevant to your stealth roll that you want? I can give you extra dice to roll based off them. Just have to give me a good reason to let you do this. To let you fork.
Inconspicuous, I guess. Trying to like blend in with the crowd, maybe grab my doll back.
Blend with what crowd? We're in a room.
Unless you're waiting until, unless you're like just leaving with them and you're waiting until you guys are in the crowds of the people inside the buildings. You guys are kind of alone up here in the living quarters. But if you're gonna wait and just follow him down, then I would say you can do inconspicuous if you're waiting to get into the crowds of like the mess halls or lower. You're gonna wait until you guys are in a crowd.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so I'll let you have another dice for inconspicuous. Anything else?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Alright, so it's 5 dice overall?
Yes, versus his observation.
What is the success?
4.
4 ups.
I got 2 successes and
I
a
can
6.
do
So I can do
Yeah, you can pay spend a fate
Persona?
point. Yeah, you can put persona before you're rolling.
a fate point to
Reroll
a six.
6s, yeah.
Oh, 6.
Reroll again. 3
Yes.
successes.
Another 6.
4 successes. Keep going.
Ah.
What was that one?
1.
Okay, so 4 successes total then.
You 1.
All right. So, were you attempting to do with your stealthy? What's your task and intent?
Depending on where it's heading, either just take the doll or take the whole bag.
Where did you hide it, or would you not hide it? Where'd you put it? Because you
Uh,
were trying to hide it from him. Just...
Pouch on my belt, like on my thigh.
So it's hanging off.
Yeah, you either steal the doll or steal the pouch. It's up to you. Or like the doll and the pouch plus doll. That's what I mean. What do you choose to do?
Consider us kind of friends. So I'm just gonna take the doll.
You just keep his pouch.
My pouch, I killed you.
Alright, well, you slip the doll out of his pouch, and Lucius is none the wiser. How many dice did you roll total, Chip? Not including the rerolls?
5.
Alright, so you get a routine test for stealth, and Lucius gets
Difficult.
challenging
Oh, sweet.
for observation.
What do I need to level observation up?
From 2 to 3?
Yes.
You need 3 routines and either 2 difficult or 1 challenging. I'm sorry, 2 routines and either 1 difficult or 1 challenging to get from 2 to 3.
Okay, so if I had 2 difficult and a challenging,
You still need 2 routine.
still need 2 routine?
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't, like, transfer, trade it down?
Unfortunately not. You have to get your 2 routines. You gotta broaden your horizons. But yes, Dolan, you slip it out of his pouch as...
Okay, what did... That would be
Did I get the...
a difficult?
Oh, you do test for your fight
Yeah.
with him? Well, yeah, you get to pick. You get to either have a test... Well, let's see if your test for power, actually, because you need difficult and challenging for power. You rolled 4 against his 3. So yeah, if you want, you can get a test towards power. You can get a test towards your sword.
And
You
it'd
pick.
be a difficult thing for power?
Yeah, and then your sword... There's a lot of dice. I'm trying to remember.
Just out of curiosity, what would have happened? Oh, I guess you can't tell me.
If like... Oh, no, I can tell you, like, conditions for failure. I should normally tell you guys that, but I forget. If you had failed, he would catch you in the act.
I'm saying if I would have cut his head off, the doll's head off.
Oh, if you were to cut the doll's head off. I don't know if I can tell you that, Chip.
Alright.
Cannot tell you that. Okay. So yeah, I think this is...
Cut my metaphorical head off, I will destroy you. From the grave.
He rolled 8 dice total.
I rolled 6.
11?
Well, I had 6 for the sword, and then the observation and tactics,
And then you got your bonus dice.
and then I got the armor and shield ones, which was another 4, so 10.
10? Okay, so 10 versus 8. You got a difficult test for sword. So either difficult for sword or difficult for power, your choice.
Alright, what do I need to level up power? I already have 1 difficult power test.
What's your power right now?
B4.
B4. I believe it still goes off of this. It's just routines don't matter. 4 to 5. You need 2 difficult or 1 challenging.
Oh, well, I've got my 2 difficult.
So you're gonna bump it up, power to B5.
B5.
There you go.
That was a difficult test, you said, for stealth.
That was a routine test for stealth.
Oh.
Hi there. Okay, so I guess y'all part ways in this.
And one last thing, did I get the observation test for the mess hall?
The mess hall. I think you did. Pretty sure. Yeah.
And then the other one was the interrogation.
Oh, did you get test for interrogation?
I did not. Yet.
Then his will was 3. How many dice did you roll?
2, but what did I do?
Did you fork in something? Or did you add persona?
Oh, I forked in observation.
So it's 3 on 3.
Yeah.
Was difficult.
And what do I need to level that up?
3 to 4.
3, 4? Is it the same for all of them?
You need 3 routines and either 2 difficult or 1 challenging, from 3 to 4.
Okay.
All right. Well, pause it there and bring it back to Surveus.
Ask, where does my character stand? Does he have any kind of...
You would be staying with the other SS members, like that, where you guys were just now in the living quarters. You'd have your own bunk and a chest to put your stuff in.
No, I'm not telling you like.
Is there any, like, area I'd be familiar with, like, in the slum area?
You'd be very familiar with that area, and with like the whole, like the dwarven areas and the slum areas you're familiar with more so than the Blairs
Is
above.
it really
that.
6:30?
Yep.
Holy shit.
I would like to
That's why I came
find
in. It's getting cold.
some area I am familiar with that I feel like will get a lot of attention, and I like to dig a hole, put those 2 dolls in a sack, and put them in that spot.
You're just gonna, okay, you're just gonna bury them.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing those things don't have lungs.
Oh, you bury them.
Wait.
You don't feel your lungs tightening or anything.
So we just, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it'd be better say I put them in a box.
You got that. Yeah.
As long as it's
They're buried.
Yeah.
All right, Surveus.
Service!
It's your turn.
Service!
Your turn.
Service! Service! Service!
Gonna do it from over here.
You might. What if you want to do some tests?
It's your time to shine. You said it'd be up for your time to shine. Now shine.
Your time to shine.
And now I'm keeping my player knowledge note.
Sorry.
You may sit on the recliner, Nathan, if you wish,
Yes.
as long as you can.
Stay awake.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm just preparing myself for what's about to come.
No. Where's your guy? Right here.
Service. It is freezing cold outside.
Is it?
Yes.
Keeps you awake though, I bet.
I don't know. I was finding it fairly easy to go to sleep.
I mean, I guess we have been up all night, so there's that.
My coffee. All right, William.
All right, Surveus. So you are once again in the company of a large dwarven procession, except this time instead of a daughter, you were in the company of the mother herself. And if dwarves' heads weren't turning,
What is how is she known?
she is the head of the family, the dwarven family.
Like what is?
Oh, Mother Gurdra.
The Gurdra?
Yeah, sometimes just mother. But if heads weren't turning before, they are turning now. Just almost like at neck break speeds. Dwarves are like looking like
they're looking so fast, like heads just breaking and then resetting.
because they're so shocked by what they see. There's whispers going on around. There's like, it's insane. You've never had this much attention in your short orc life before. But instead of, it's a little different though than your walk with the daughter. The mother is not talkative at all. She walks ahead of you. There's actually a separation of a few good soldiers between her and you that walk in between you guys, as if they don't want you anywhere close to her, even if she wished you to be in this procession with her. But I don't know if you're going to attempt to talk to her. You can.
The daughter?
The mother.
Oh.
I'm just if you were going to say anything, I'm just going to tell you right now. You can talk, but she doesn't answer you. and the dwarves kind of just, in gruff ways, to tell you to keep quiet. And they eventually lead you into the mansion, up a few flights of stairs in this, gorgeous place. Before I get into a room, it looks like her bedroom, which probably may put you at ease. But she walks past it into a adjoining room that looks like a boring office. Oh. And most of the company departs, but two dwarven soldiers situate themselves at the exit. And the mother walks around her elaborate desk filled with, looks like, trinkets, and there's beautiful paintings on the walls. These paintings are a little more detailed, though. There's 4 paintings on one wall that looks like dwarven men, and 3 paintings on the other wall of dwarven women. You recognize one of these paintings as what's her face, Major. And behind her is the biggest painting of all of none other than herself, looking quite royal and prestigious. And she folds her hands and says, "So you are Serveus. Will wonders never cease?"
What wonders are you speaking of?
I am speaking of the rumors I hear of you being raised by elves. If that wasn't enough, you going out on a simple goat mission and coming back with tales of slaughtered
Of course, right.
slaughtered humans and all this terrible ilk of people trying to kill the king. This worries me,
Well,
as you understand.
Yeah, it actually worries me just as much. I was actually in the cell with one of the people that I'm fairly certain was killing the other people. Maybe I wasn't seeing. You have to feel me a little tired, out of character.
No, you're fine. You might be a little tired in character too. It's been a long day.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what I was seeing, but I was actually. I feel like there's something very strange and fishy going on.
Well, it does not escape me that something fishy is going on. Those troublemakers from that SS-86,
SS-86.
that's their number. They like to keep tradition. Anyways, it's those members, that Corvus Banner.
Before we continue, Mother, may I call you Mother?
You may.
I'm not in any sort of trouble, am I? Under any fire?
Oh no.
Okay.
I actually have use of you still.
Oh, well, that's good.
Because if you let me continue, I want to keep an eye on those boys, Lucius, Corvus, Dylan. I want you to keep a close eye on them. I want them to come into my ranks, so to speak, because I don't trust them. I want to know as much as I can about things I don't trust.
Well, honestly, I'm not sure I trust them that much either, but I feel like they have the potential to be pretty dangerous.
I'm sure you know the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Right. Okay, I see.
I'm doing this for the safety of the kingdom and for the safety
Of the dwarves, right.
of the family. I don't care much for the common dwarf. It's the family that I'm willing to do anything for. That could include you, should you follow my orders carefully and to the dot. Do we understand each other? For if you accomplish this, you may consider yourself well deep into the folds of the family. Riches beyond your wildest dreams. Anything your heart desires.
Well, riches seem very nice. Being part of, the nobles of this family would be great too, but I'm sure you've heard my backstory. I'm sure you've heard where I come from, so you would know that I've come from something of the like. I've come from a noble family of the elves, and we weren't nearly as rich or as wealthy as the family of the dwarves here, but it's something that I've already had. But the one thing that I would ask, would you allow me to know your daughter?
See, that is why I like you, Serveus. You're different. I like different. This is why I can't ask this of any other dwarf. They're blinded by the riches and the wealth. I see it in their eyes, even the ones among my ranks in the family. I know what they really covet. They don't care about the bonds that keep us strong. They care about the next coin in their pocket. But you're different, Serveus. That's why I feel like I can trust you. You do these jobs for me, Serveus, and you can consider yourself family.
One thing out of
More than just title.
One thing out of character. Let's say I practice falsehood a lot. Like, let's say later, like much later into the game.
You spend a lot of your, most of your free time on practice?
Yeah, and I get to a certain point. Would you say that automatically, even if there are some obstacle, I would automatically pass it? Or
What happens is, if you do enough testing time, you automatically get a test for it, like a certain amount of days.
No. Like, let's say...
Like you automatically bump up from one to the next?
No, like automatically pass tests. Or would that just be...
Oh, you mean like if
the circumstance happens where my lowest roll would...
So like you automatically be good at being falsehood?
Yeah.
I mean, how that happens though, like, you know, if you ever spend enough Artha points into your falsehood and bump it up from black shade to gray shade, that's a really big deal. You have it's not the supernatural level, but it's in between supernatural and natural. Like, if your falsehood gets to gray shade, you can do crazy things.
Almost
I don't know exactly how the mechanics work, but it's for example, they have gray shade weapons. A gray shade weapon does damage that breaks the boundaries of what's on here. It does greater than a B16 wound. It breaks those. If you get hit by one of those things, you can say goodbye to everything about you.
If you survive, you're probably mentally retarded anyway.
You're probably just a head in a jar.
You're probably Mr. Food. Anyway.
But yeah, that's a good example though. That's like your falsehood. You'd be so good at falsehood, it'd be unless someone had a gray shade will, is the only way.
And that's an epiphany, huh?
Yes.
How do you get? White shade must be you're a god.
Yeah, that's supernatural stuff. That's being gods. That's what they say in the book. It's like being a god when you have white shade exponents.
I don't know what I would even be able to get white shade in.
You can get it in anything. Anything that's a skill can become.
I know, but it would take a long time.
Yeah.
It would be this would be the game, I think, that we should do this in.
That's why, it's my favorite.
I will say, I find Pathfinder a lot more fun because it's a set thing, but I think the more and more I play this, the more I understand it, the more because it's story based more than anything, it's much.
I think you can make Bringwheel a set thing. If you give your character set beliefs, I have no choice but to incorporate that. If you had a belief saying I wish to covet the mother's daughter and make her my wife, I would be obliged.
These are all my inner workings, you know.
Yeah, it flows naturally. But if you ever made stuff a belief, I'm obliged to put that in the story, no matter what. Even it's I want to hunt. I want to learn to summon a demon and do crazy shit with him. Okay, I'm going to start introducing things that will put you on that path. You can make something set. I'm only kind of doing this. This kind of seems almost random. It doesn't seem as set as Pathfinder, but I think a lot of that's because you guys have
different storylines or different...
that, and just you guys kind of diverge, but also have beliefs that aren't really set goals. You don't have beliefs that you say I want to spread madness and stuff. That's a good belief, but you can make it more refined by saying I want to spread madness by doing da 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 da. You know, and when you do that thing, you can do something else. Like, I want to spread madness by corrupting the minds of the High Lords. Stuff like that. And then,
Well, that would be very. I feel like the beliefs would be very general, like corrupting the minds of the high.
yeah, you don't have to have, like, they don't all have to be like that. I just suggest having one that's like a set
Okay.
goal, because then you're always going to be getting Arthur points from it. The other ones can be more like open-ended and see where that goes. I just
Right.
would recommend
You
having
might
one.
have to take this. I mean,
No, I
never
insist.
mind, so.
I insist.
Anyway, back in character. Where
Okay.
were we?
She said that if you do this for her, you can consider yourself more, like, consider yourself part of the family and more than just title.
Okay. One last thing. You know, normally I wouldn't be so insecure by it, but it's been folks kind of fun was poked at me a little bit, and I'll let you know I'm not a very insecure person, as I just said, but you know, even common jibes, or I can't think of the word, but the typical comments from the peanut gallery can still get to you. I've been being called plebeian a lot, just because I work for the goats.
That's
For
a-
the goat farm.
It's an odd word. It's no dwarven word. Is that human based? What does it mean?
Basically meaning lowly peasant. It's just, you know, it wouldn't bug me so much. It's a little infuriating coming from a military person, someone who is basically in my own eyes in the same position as I am, just following orders.
Well,
But I know any position I would be in your family, I would still be following some orders, because I would still be because there would still be orders coming from you, being the head of the family. I'm just wondering if there is a position I would be more well suited.
that being a goat farmer. Maybe you don't quite understand what I'm offering you here. I'm offering you more than just doing some menial tasks for me. I'm offering you to become more than a goat farmer. You'll be
If
given.
that's the case.
You'll be working for me directly. That's not a
Okay,
privilege
so
most
me
stores
doing
get.
this favor is more like me
Favors.
becoming someone who does this favor as a living.
You'd be immediately removed from the goat farmers and come under my wing. It's not a privilege I bestow on most dwarves.
Well, I can most certainly do this then. Honestly, this is the sort of thing that I feel like I am best at.
I'm very glad to hear this. Our arrangement should work out pleasantly then.
What is it that you need me to do, Mother?
Well, for starters, I need you to pass along a message to Group 86. Pass on the message that the mother of the dwarves has a job for them, and if they complete this job, they will learn much about the things that ail them, and that they have my word that Corvus will not face any dire judgment. He will be set free, and anything else they might wish from me. I am a woman of many resources. If there is something they wish in return, I shall bestow it upon them. But there's something you should know. You're not just going to be handing them the jobs. I want you to be with them at almost all times. I want you to
Well,
become friends with them,
Right.
close to them.
If I'm learning anything substantial, I'm assuming I would have to be close to them in some sort.
Just tell them that it's simple assurance. I leave one of my men with them, so I know they don't try to double cross me. I might be a little awkward at first, but you seem like a dwarf of many charms. I'm sure you can work this awkward initial meeting into friendship over time. Just show them that you can be a person that they can depend on. Make them depend on you. Make them want to be with you and be your friend. You do this, you can have anything you wish from me. Do we understand each other?
Of course.
Very well.
Is there anything else you need?
Well, more that you might need the information. Corvus, of course, is staying within the cells, so it won't be very hard to track him down. Lucius and that Dylan character might be a little more difficult. I'd imagine you could find the elf within the barracks at some point. I would just scout them out and wait on him. That Dolan is a little more difficult to-
Inaccessible.
Yes. He used to be one of the lowlifes.
Can I have some water?
Yeah, of course.
Starting to feel a little nauseous. I don't know why.
Be careful, man. He used to be
Talking out of the mood.
used to be part of the rabble of the criminal scum that dares to make its home near mine. You might still find him. There's a tavern called the Drunken Beard, a short ways from here. For my information, he used to frequent that place with a contact of his, some character named Gooby. That man is almost there 24/7. You find him, he'll more than likely bring you to Dylan.
Okay.
You can't miss him. He's not seen without his dog. It is what is that breed called again? Dane of a great variety.
I believe it is actually called a Great Dane.
Ah, yes, yes. Those two are inseparable. If you find the dog, you won't find him. You'll find the man.
Well,
Get these men together. Prefer more than likely at Corvus's cell. Tell them what I've told you. They take on my job, they complete my job, and they'll get Corvus's freedom and maybe some answers they're in search for. Tell them to meet me at their convenience. Simply talk to one of this dwarf servants, and we shall make an appointment.
okay.
And I would get started on that friendship thing quickly. The quicker you make them closer, the quicker you will begin to learn.
Right. Just one more thing. The goat I was planning on delivering, or I was setting on delivering, that I never actually did deliver. It was a sickly goat, and I don't imagine it would have much longer to live.
Let me guess. This was Carver who sent this goat with you?
Right. I personally talked to him and said it wasn't really that good an idea to send the person that paid for the goat, full price and everything, a sickly goat. But the man's dead, and seeing how this goat has got not much longer to live, would you mind if I made a robe out of its hide?
I can't say that's quite sanitary, but you may do with what you please the goat.
There are ways that the hide can be cleaned and...
I do not wish to know. You do whatever you wish with the goat. I will have words with Carver, but he's a dwarf with many centuries of stubbornness under his beard. This isn't the first offense I've heard from him, and it probably will not be the last.
Trust me, I wasn't trying to rat Carver out. I was just asking a question about,
Do what you will.
Okay. Well, if that's all that is needed of me, I suppose I should go ahead and start on my task.
The guards will see you out. Okay. Well, they in fact see you out of the mansion, and you find yourself outside the mansion. And as you step out, you kind of notice something, hauntingly familiar. It is a crow It has like some sort of like snail shell or a rock or something. It's kind of like beating against one of the metal shields that the dwarves have situated up on the pillars. Like looks like family seals on these shields, and she's kind of like on, and the crow's kind of on like a little perch and just whapping it against the shield.
Uh-huh.
And when you look up at it, it looks at you and drops the rock and kind of flies to your feet. It kind of looks at you in like that knowing way and kind of like starts to take off in a direction. It expects you to follow it.
Well, I pick up my pace and quickly follow it.
Alright. You follow the crow and it leads you more towards like not the slums but like kind of where you live. You know, there's the dwarven homes that are the closer they get to the mansion, the more out of stone they are made in fact. And where you live is more made out of like it's nice wood, but it's wood. But it leads you down to some of these back alleys of the lower homes, and it plants itself on the ground. Now that you are both are well alone, and it speaks, and it's the familiar old crone Mama Wuja, and it says, "Keeping yourself busy, I see, Rogan."
Somewhat. Before you're able to say anything, I suppose I should say what hasn't happened so far will happen soon.
Oh, I'm not concerned about that. I didn't drag you here to chastise you. There has been a change in plans, Brogan. That girl that we smuggled in, I have no further need of her. There's been a new child that I will be keeping my eyes on.
Okay.
So I want you to take the child, bring her to the sewers that I led you through before, extract as many tears from her as you can. I've left vials for you back at your house, and then either leave her there or kill her. I do not care which. But you have to make sure she does not leave those sewers. Are we clear?
Why can't she leave the sewers?
She's seen far too much. If she would report anything, I cannot risk my children being found out. Not at this stage. She needs to be taken care of, Brogan. She's the only loose end left. Well, besides other ones that will be taken care of later down the road.
I see.
She's the current one and needs to be tied immediately.
This is a very difficult thing.
Why?
As much as someone might say that I'm very uncaring for other people, this is still you don't see this as wrong in any way, Mama Wuja?
She is a child, a human child. Her life means nothing to me anymore. I cannot use her, and she is a threat if she remains alive.
Okay, so once you're not able to use me anymore,
That's different, Brogan.
is it?
There will be no limit to the uses I have of you. I can assure you. The girl is different. I cannot trust her the way I can trust you. She is not the same. She is weak. She will find me out. I cannot risk that.
Okay.
You have as much stake as I do, Brogan, for if I fall, you will fall with me.
She's seen too much, but what's it matter if she's in a completely different place?
That's why you can leave her within the sewers.
In the sewers, she can still come out.
Not in those sewers. She will not. Those things you saw in there, whatever you may have thought of them, they were once people. People that failed something. They've been in there for many years, and not a one of them not man, woman, or child, has ever escaped. You leave her in there, she will not leave herself. And if she does, my children will take care of her.
Well, I suppose I'll do the lesser of the two.
Very good.
I'll do what you ask.
Make sure it's done quickly. With that, she takes off, leaving a few feathers on the ground.
I kind of grit my teeth a little bit,
Understandably.
and I continue on.
Where are you off to?
I'm not sure where to go now. I suppose
You'll
I'll,
turn around.
I'll just bite the bullet and go home and grab the girl.
All right. Well, you head on home, and you enter the home. You see the girl's still sitting on her bed. She's not sleeping anymore. She's kind of just like playing with the ends of her hair that are now much shorter than they used to be. She looks up at you with those muddy brown eyes. She has kind of a faint smile on her face, and she says, "Did you get the dye?"
No, I didn't. But I tell you what, we're gonna go somewhere real quick to a very nice lady that I know. She's gonna take you somewhere very far away from here. A place like this, there are a lot of nice people, but there are also a lot of mean people.
She kind of scrunches her face. She says, "But you're not coming with me?
I'm afraid not.
I don't want to go," she says, balling up her fists and kind of slamming on the bed. "I don't want to go."
I look her in the face with complete honesty and tell her,
Would you like to roll persuasion, perhaps?
yeah,
Okay.
it'd be a good thing to get going anyway. Persuasion goes off of will.
Yes.
I get 4.
That's against her will.
Obstacle is double. by the
Yeah,
way.
she has a will of base 2, but doubled it is 4. She's just a child. She might be stubborn, but she's very impressionable still too. Wait, what do you wish to say?
There are 3 places, 3 things that can happen. One is you stay here, and those mean people that I told you about can. Well, you've already grown up so much from what you've seen already. Those mean people that killed your whole family will very likely come and finish the job for you. That's number 1 if I let you stay here. Number 2, if I let you stay in the city, I will be forced to put you in the sewers where you'll become something that you aren't right now. You'll be corrupted and become something completely different. Something that you'll never be able to come back from. Finally, if we do what I say, even though it might be hard at first, I can have you sent to a very far away place where you'll never have to find any sort of problem. You won't see me, then again you won't see anybody that has ever heard you before. You'll be able to find new friends, you'll be able to find new people, and there won't be anybody coming after you.
Hey, look, you got 6. It's been a fate point. Let me roll it.
Fate point. Persuasion.
Persuasion. Ho ho ho.
Please give me another 6. No! Roll 3.
So close. Okay. She kind of like stares down at the ground as you say all this. She looks like back up at you.
You guys saw us or no?
Huh? Almost. Almost. And oh, he probably thought your no was a yo or something. Anyway, she looks up at you and you see there's evident tears in those brown eyes. She says, "What about Mommy? Mom's still out there. We have to go get Mom. I can't leave without her. If I can't have you, I need Mom." You promised we'd go out and see the sights together. Why is this happening?
Honestly, I don't know where your mother is. I don't know if you will ever find her. She's not in this city, but she's not in the city, so you really have no reason to stay here. Oh, by the way, I need to.
Yeah, I think you touched it. Yeah, neat. Mm-hmm.
For all you know, she could. Oh, also, should I get a test in falsehood? Like, what would be 2 against 4?
Oh yeah. That would be a challenging test.
All right. The only thing that I do know, her name's Allison, huh?
Mhm.
Only thing I do know, Allison, is that you cannot stay here. For your own safety, you cannot stay here.
She kind of stares at the ground some more, and you hear like a faint whisper. I hate you.
I guess I'll make it easier that way then.
She looks up at you again. You see there's like her eyes are scrunched up, and she kind of, I'm not gonna scream, but she screams, you hurt my brother. Now you're gonna get rid of me. You don't even care about me or my family." She like gets up and kind of runs over you and starts beating you with her little palms, her little fists. You don't feel anything, but she hits you and hits you and hits you while she cries and sobs harder.
That's kind of funny. She's probably the same height as me.
Yeah, she's like hitting your chest, saying, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you." Before she kind of like just
I put my hands on her shoulders, kind of calm her down.
kind of like collapses in your hands, like she's about to fall backwards.
I bring her in and embrace her, or hug her.
She hugs you back and kind of just sobs into your shoulder.
I tell her I'm sorry, but it has. I've already said that enough, you know.
So you hear her, through her sobs, like kind of quiet down. She says, "Just let me go in the woods. Let me find my mother. I promise I won't come back."
It's not about you coming back. It's not about me not seeing you again. It's about you not being seen by the people that by the people that killed your family. I know I was one of them, but your brother at the time was already killed long ago. His body, like I told you before, was just being used. The person that killed your brother, I'm almost very certain that it killed the rest of your family.
Okay. She bites you really, really hard, as hard as she can, on your neck.
Should I roll?
Let me just see if it even does anything. Real quick. Okay. Take a what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? A
Superficial?
B3. B3 wound.
B3.
Yes. What is that for you?
It's in between superficial and light.
So that is still superficial. She bites you and draws blood and tries to break away from you and attempts to run past you out the door. Do you wish to try and do anything about this?
I stop her.
How you gonna stop her? Just try to catch her? If that's the case, we just have to roll opposing speed.
Speed. I don't really have that much.
Yeah.
Okay, my stride should be lower. Considering.
Oh, you're a dwarf?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
We
I
can
would-
fix that later.
Yeah, I have whatever Wyatt's guy. He's a dwarf. What is your Oh shit. Oh shit.
Probably like 3.
6.
Oh.
Stride is 6.
Or stride is 7.
She's gonna get advantage because she's a higher stride, but she's still a little girl. Her base speed isn't that high.
My base speed is 3, so.
Hers is 2.
Oh.
So plus the advantage is 3. So you're trying to
Alright.
try to catch her?
Yeah. Didn't.
Oh dear.
She's gonna escape, and she's probably gonna die.
She, when like a surprising burst of speed, runs past you and out the door, and you try to catch her, but she runs nimbly down the streets, and you lose her. And she's outrunning you. You know you can still see her, but you feel like if you don't think of something quick, she's gonna just outpace you, and you're gonna lose her as you're running through these streets.
Can I roll another persuasion, or will it be a letter ride kind of thing?
It has to be a letter ride, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'll let her go for now, and I'll just track her. See if I can track her later.
Alright, well, you stop moving. You eventually just give up the chase because you realize it's fruitless. Your little dwarf legs are not the same as your orc ones, and you're unable to keep up with her. You kind of stop moving. Kind of like you find yourself in another back alley that you have been trying to chase her down, and you hear a flap of wings. And while you look around, you don't see anything at first. You do see a few crow feathers fall gracefully to the ground. And that is where we'll pause it for you, my good man. Unless you had something else you wanted to do immediately afterwards. Might just pause it though for.
Well, I mean, if it's paused, I can't really.
Well, I mean,
that's where.
are you gonna do?
Is it paused, or is that the end of my session?
That's not the end of your session. You can. Are you gonna? Do you want to make your way to either try to locate the members 86, or do you want to go back home and sulk, or what do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do. What does Robin want to do?
I'd like to go back home and practice in falsehood and persuasion. Falsehood, I'd like to practice for half an hour, and persuasion practice for half an hour.
We'll add that to your what we already have been practicing for.
So that would be an hour, and then
Yeah, I think you need a good long bit of time. So I know it's more than like a couple days or even a week to get routine tests. It'd be like those, saying you're practicing is, stuff you like. You get a lot of time. If I say like, okay, we're gonna do a little time skip. It's been a couple of weeks. What have you guys been doing? He's like, oh, I've been practicing this whole time. Like, okay, you get a couple of weeks of practice. Now it's good to do these little minute things, just in case. But a lot of the big bulk of it will come from time skips as they become necessary, which they just haven't been lately.
okay, well,
But yeah, that's fine.
and after I practice for that hour, I go to where Gooby is. Or where Gooby is said to be.
Uptown Gooby then?
Yep.
Right, then you should stay here. Because I'm going to call in Nolan.
Dolan!
Nolan! 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 Okay. So Dolan, you said that you were after your little encounter with Lucius, you're gonna go head towards where Gooby says to meet him, or do you have other plans in mind? And we have to kick Nathan out. It's okay if you do.
No, we'll go ahead.
Okay. Well, you make your way. You make your way down to.
Have a seat. So, what were you doing with the little girl?
She said I could just come over to, no.
Well,
Okay, so you make your way down. You know the tavern by name. It's called the Drunken Beard. It's the tavern that a lot of the lowlifes of the underground place gather. And you make your way inside. It's not too crowded. It's still like midday, not a very busy time for a tavern. See, there's some people at the bar, some people at some of the tables. You do recognize offhandedly there is a familiar-looking dwarf sitting either, I don't know, where you would have sat and wait for him. Because you go there, you don't see him, but I don't know if you decided to wait there a little while, or
wait, where was I?
are you? When you get to the a few minutes before this guy, you get to the Drunken Beard.
And
Where do you?
I guess I'll just, it's a bar, right?
Yeah, it's like a tavern.
Yeah. I guess I sit at one of the tables by myself.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of empty tables. So when Dolan, you walk in, you do notice offhand the dwarf sitting by the table, but you also notice Pluto, Gooby's dog, kind of resting in front of a door that leads off to one side of the tavern.
I stand up, personally, after seeing them, and I kind of walk over with a pseudo-inquisitive look, saying, have I seen you before?
Yes.
In fact, I know I've seen you before. You were one of those people at the barn. I was the guy with the goat.
Pretty sure I saw them drag you off to be interrogated.
Right. All of us were interrogated. Or, to my knowledge, we were all interrogated. I was put in a freaking cell. I was put in a cell for God knows how long. Because I was telling them about how I came to be in this place. And for some reason they decided not to believe in me. I don't know what kind of conspiracy is behind all this or whatever, but
Well, what did you tell them?
you not know who I am?
I have no idea.
Well, I am Sarveus Delatus. I was brought up by an elf from, of course not this town, but outside, pretty much outside of this province. And when I came here, I didn't think much of it, but apparently Delatos is a well-known elven name around here. So people started calling me the dwarf with the elven name. And that's how I came to gain my reputation. But aside from all of that, sorry, that was an out of character brain fart.
Hooray for brain farts.
It's really early.
I know. You're fine.
Strange that I've lived here all my life and I've never heard of you if you're such a big deal.
I'm not that big of a deal. I actually, not here anyway. I just recently came into this town. But according to all the dwarves,
You okay?
Lauren is texting me
Oh no.
at 6 and 7 in the morning, asking me about a Facebook post.
So,
I'm just gonna let it be for right now.
Good idea.
Where were we?
You were saying that you just recently came to this kingdom,
Right. I just recently came to this kingdom, basically.
and the dwarves just
Looking-
started talking about you.
Right. I came to this kingdom looking to be part of the family of the dwarves here, because I mean personally, being of great lineage and having coin isn't, that big of a deal to me, but I do, seek my own kind.
Just in case Dolan asks, your character does know about the family that he speaks of, because you've lived in this part of the kingdom for a long time. They are a very prestigious family of dwarves that almost every dwarf here covets to become one of them. Like every dwarf that ever comes to the kingdom, most of their sole purposes are to join this family because they seem like a pretty big deal. Some rumors even say that the mother, the head of the family, has just as much power as the king, if not more.
well,
But yeah, back in your conversation.
okay, so please tell me one more time, what exactly did you tell them that would make them throw you into a jail? And put that fucking phone away. 'Cause we don't have that technology.
Say what you said again? Sorry.
Why exactly did they throw you in the jail? What did you say to make them do that?
Like I said, I told them my story and they just decided not to believe it.
And the story was?
Well, that I was brought up by an elven. I called him a prince, so maybe that ticked the guy off. He wasn't really a prince, but he was a noble elf, and when I grew up, I felt like he was treated like a prince, so I called him a prince. But I grew up, or was brought up by this elf in the noble society of the elves, and I told him this. And when I told him this, and when I told him where I came from, he decided not to believe me and say, "That doesn't exist." And when he told me that, I thought he was joking because, who knows more than I do where I, came from. But all that's behind me because I'm out of the cell and my slate's clean anyway. Well, what is my name's been cleared of anything that they could possibly pin on. How about yourself? Did they interrogate you?
They did, but they believed everything I said, and I got off free. But what I'm wondering is, when they dragged you off, did they put you in the same cell or anywhere near where they brought the other guy that was near us?
Corvus.
Yes.
Yes, actually, they brought me in the same cell as Corvus. He's actually a pretty, very snide person. Seems to have a lot of spite. But we got along in a very dissonant way. Where there are some things that were said, you know, mostly out of trying to be better than the other, but I think we gotta, you know, I can't role play right now. It's really,
You can do it, buddy. We
I
believe
know
in
I'm
you.
gonna do it. It's just
Doing fine, man. Doing fine.
we had our words.
Did he comment on his situation at all? Did he say why it is they threw him in the cell?
Well, he said, basically, they told him, first of all, he said he started lying, which kind of raised suspicion from them. But he told them that he killed this guy, which I've heard from some of the more noble people in the family of the dwarves. Heard from some of the more noble people up there that y'all were supposed to kill some orc, and when y'all killed him, some big uproar happened, and he was pinned with the murder of the orc.
Hey guys.
Well, that was a really weird time to come in.
Random.
So as he was explaining to me, when he was pinned with the murder of the orc, he was told that he was going to have to be interrogated after, of course, being ambushed and, you know, the onset of the actual interrogations. He basically started lying. He started lying to him, and when he found out that he was being backed into a corner, he decided, well, I mean, either way, it's going to go downhill, so I might as well just be honest. And he comes out and says, well, yeah, I killed him. And then they threw him in the holding cell with me.
And they let you go free?
And,
Just like that?
the mother of the family, the dwarven family, she helped me out. She cleared my name.
Did Corvus comment on what might be happening to him?
I'm sure he's just as unknowing as we are. I'm sure he's out by now. I can't imagine. Well, actually, he did say if he would continue to be held, he would be held with treason. But enough depressing stuff. Why are you here?
Just here to meet a friend that I haven't seen in a long time.
That's nice. I mean, seems like we're the only people. I mean, the dog is here, but
Yeah, well, that'll be his dog. I don't see him, but I'm waiting.
we'll see. Well, here, come over, sit by me, and while you wait for him, I'll buy you a drink or something.
Sounds good.
All right. What'll you be having?
I'll just stick with some water.
You're not gonna stick with water. I'm gonna get you what I'm drinking.
All right.
Get a couple of rounds of or mead, since it's good.
Okay, well, y'all share a few drinks, maybe share some stories or just some small talk.
We never laugh though.
Never laugh. But eventually, the door to the tavern swings open, and Pluto's head just kind of rises up, and his tail wagging eagerly, and Dolan recognize the figure walking in as none other than Gooby. He's a very ugly man. He's got like blemishes and moles and pimples, all afoul. Like he's got scarred face, and his hair's all disheveled, and he holds himself like he's constantly drunk. The way he swaggers around when he walks, and he looks to you, and his he looked a little grumpy, when he walked in, but he looks to you, and his face immediately brightens up, and he says, "Well, well, 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 Dolan, I knew you'd come back." He kind of like walks over and plants a hand on the table, and kind of looks at you and says, you."
Man, you must be Goopy.
And you must be someone I haven't met before. You a friend of Dolan's?
Sarveus. I'll hold up my mead.
He holds up a ghost mead and clinks it with
Cheers.
you. So, you interested in work too? Is that why you're here with my good friend here?
I actually have my own line of work. I'm currently I'm a goat farmer of the family.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's a living.
Hey, I got a living for you if you're interested.
I do well enough. It's not prideful work, but I feel like I'm coming up in the family. So I've got my way.
Oh,
I appreciate it though. I very much do.
Oh, hope you don't mind if I sit here.
Oh, by all means. We were just actually having our time. I actually should probably get another picture of mead going along.
Oh, here, let me buy you guys some rounds. Come on, let's get this party going. He pulls up a seat to sit with you guys. He's like, so, I'm guessing you're here, Dolan, to pick up a job? Guys, I got some if you're interested.
Well, let's just tell me what you got first.
Oh, of course, of course. Before he speaks up, though, a figure walks in, like, just a few minutes behind him, or a few seconds behind him. It's of, someone who, is a very large figure, dressed in, like, armor and, like, a royal flowing, purple, like, cloak. He kind of walks over, takes a seat by, like, the actual bar. And Gooby kind of pauses for a minute before he says anything, like holding his breath. And he keeps going. It says, Dolan, since you've been gone, things have changed a little around here. I've kind of upped my business. More than just pickpockets and robberies. So if you're interested, it's good coin. How's about you do some assassinating for me? Dangerous work, but pays well. I know you got it in you.
Well, last time you set me up with somebody. I mean, what got me into?
Oh, you still crying about that, Dolan? It was a mistake. Mistakes happen. Look, you're fine.
I'm gonna need to know exactly who this is before I agree to it.
Well, of course. As I always will. But you're willing, right? You up for it? Stop some hearts. Slit some throats.
I need more details first.
Alright, you'll get them. Just making sure you are aptly interested. There's a noble. One, Sir Wellingham. He's one of those lords they talk about upstairs. A lord of, oh god, what was it? Pottery, I think? Some kind of pottery, famous pottery merchant. Well, there's a new up-and-coming pottery merchant. He don't like him too well. Wants him at the picture, see? So, we gonna take care of that, aren't we, Dolan? There's a new up-and-coming merchant. The only reason we doing this for him is because he's got good money. Better money than the guy we're killing. Otherwise,
Whoa.
What, you got a problem with that? I figured
No.
you're a man of open-mindedness.
I suppose I am. I just wouldn't have pegged a friendly guy like you and a timid, shy guy like this guy over here to be like that.
Hey, man.
But hey, to each their own. And I continue sipping on my
Well, Gooby, I'm not into that kind of stuff anymore. I say it with a wink.
Oh, I hear you. You want to
Oh,
do...
I see. Actually, I'll roll observation to see if I notice.
the wink?
Yeah.
Do you want to be inconspicuous for me? Dolan versus his observation?
I'm not gonna be inconspicuous. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Wink.
I only have 3 dice. I only got 1
What am I rolling?
success.
You're inconspicuous.
You beat me, so I don't notice.
Okay, forfeits.
Never wait.
Good.
All right. Okay, he says, all right. So you interested in more of the low-key stuff still, Dolan? Some pickpockets, some hustling?
Actually, after what I've been put through, if I'm caught with something like that again, I'll probably be serving for life. So
Oh, don't tell me you gone soft, Dolan. The danger's half the fun, right?
I say this was another wink. I'm confused why he's not getting the picture. Getting the message.
All right, well, you change your mind. Feel free to come back.
Come on, come on.
Get it.
He's gonna catch on.
You know, like I said, you meet me whenever you want to. I actually have an office here now. You know, I'm one of the big boys upstairs. Ain't that something? Wouldn't expect old Gooby to be all up on stairs.
What happened to what happened?
What happened?
What?
Things
Okay.
changed, Dolan.
How did you become top dog in this area?
Well, you gotta take care of the other dogs who consider themselves top dogs. Take them out one by one, and soon enough, you're only top dog left.
Well, I'm assuming you're talking about killing each other, and who's to say another underdog
Killing
is
is
you?
an easy way to do it, but you know, there's other methods. You know, you got your extortion and your blackmail and your banishment and your
My,
The
my
list
point
goes
is, my point is, what's keeping you secure?
well.
I'm not at all trying to threaten you or anything. I'm just,
No, I got you.
we're friends here. Having a couple of ales, meads, and whatnot.
Kind of like he tilts his head back so the man with the purple cloak who's sitting at the bar. You know, you get to a seat of power. Turns out there's a lot of powerful friends who wish to share in that power. You know what I'm saying? You make good about it, powerful friends, and hey, you got all your backs protected.
Well, I suppose that's a luxury that I can't yet understand. So,
Yeah, I'll let you boys get back to your drinks.
oh no, I'll head off. I've had my discussion.
Well, all right then.
And before I head out, I give both of y'all a card. Goat
card?
farmer.
What?
Goat.
Sarveus Delatos, goat farmer.
I
My number is 1.
kind of crumpled up, put it in my bag, and like.
Nah, I
forgot
didn't
about
really
it.
give you a card.
Well, you take it easy there, Serveus.
The dog is in the back, right? I wouldn't be passing it if I were leaving.
He's by like the door that he was
Front
sleeping.
door?
Yeah, not the front. There's a side door that he was seeing, and he's kind of like standing there, wagging his tail, his mouth open, tongue wagging. He looks pretty happy.
Alright, well, I leave out the side door and pet the dog.
Well, it's not a side door. You
Alright,
try to
well,
open the door, it's locked.
Oh. Well, I still pet the dog and then I turn around and walk out the front door.
Okay.
Don't mind me. Just lost. God dang it, look.
All right. So Dolan.
And
Ask Gooby who the guy with the purple, what was he, purple cloak is.
He's a person of power, Dolan. Person of power. If you start working for me, you'll be meeting a lot more of these peoples of power.
Yeah, that's kind of what got me into this mess I'm in the first place. Being with a person of power.
We'll make some mistakes, but you meet the right people, and the right things tend to happen. Like I said, Dolan, lots of things changed since you've been gone. Hell, I thought you were dead, and here you are, all dressed up fancy-like you're some prince.
One more time, I got out of character. How long is Dylan serving in the Suicide Squad before he's got
2
his
years.
freedom? 2 years.
Yes.
Alright. Honestly, sounds like easy work. How much does it pay?
Well, it varies, of course. The more dangerous the job, the more well-paying you get. But I promise you won't be going hungry for a while doing one of these jobs.
Well, I'm running low.
Oh, I can tell. Here, you boys ain't got paid for that job you did for that, what is it, Suicide Squad. It's too bad. Sound like dangerous work.
Since I'm not getting I'm gonna take a shit.
All right. Yeah. So, who was that guy, anyways? Friend of yours?
I barely just met him.
Guess should have been minding my mouth, but I have some of my boys keep an eye on him, just in case.
Sounds like a good idea. So who is this guy? Like, why does he need to be eliminated?
Oh, the produce dude? I mean not produce, pottery. Produce is some other job. Yeah, memories. Pottery dude. Well, like I said, he's usually been the up and up. You know, he's given the prestigious title of Lord of Pottery, even though there's other pottery merchants out there. And one of these merchants came upon some money from a dead father and decides to use that money to hire, my services. My boy's services, to be exact. Eliminate this lord, he got a chance of taking his place.
I see.
It's a win-win situation. Except for the first pottery guy, of course.
And what is the pay exactly?
Well, of course, we gotta split the cut between you and myself, but you'll be getting a generous portion. Promise you, take one job, you won't be having to worry about money for quite a long time. I'm talking pounds of gold, Dolan, pounds of it.
As it should be. You realize if I get caught again, I'm finished.
Oh, I quite understand that, Dolan, but I know that you're careful. Most of the time.
Okay, I agree to it.
Oh, wonderful, Dolan. I knew you hadn't changed. That's my boy. Great, 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 great. Wonderful. All right. Well, like before, I'll give you his general schedule, where he goes during the day. But most of the work falls on you, finding a good, secure place to quietly get rid of him, bring proof that he's dead, and the money is yours, Dolan.
Okay, so where does he live? What is his address?
Here, come on, let's go in my office. I got all the details in there. He kind of gets up from the table and walks over to the door where Pluto is sitting beside.
Okay, I follow.
Alright, he opens up the door, and it's less of an office and more of like a renovated closet that he's got what looks like shelves and stuff just kind of pushed up against the walls. He kind of goes over to a few of them, kind of flips through the papers, and he pulls out what looks like a leather-bound book, and he says, "This is my target book. Guy's in here somewhere." Kind of opens up the book and flips through some pages. Goes back a few. Ah, there he is. There he is, Mr. Pottery Guy. Yeah, got all the details here. List of family, list of friends, where he goes, what he does. All it's in here, Dolan. Legwork is on you, though. Can only do so much,
Okay, so we'll just say I have the information now.
Yeah, he hands you the book. So, for the scheduling of this Lord of Pottery.
Okay, so we'll say, what time is it?
During the day.
Yeah.
It is mid-afternoon. If you want to put it into real world time, it's probably 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Alright, so I'll go to around his place of work, which he works inside, I'm assuming, in some place making pottery.
Yeah, it's kind of a inside-outside deal. He's got his inside place where he works on the pots, and then the outside place that he sells his potteries at. It's all connected, but it's half and half. It's a pretty big building, though. Lots of places to sneak in if you're careful.
How many, like, does he have a lot of people working for him?
A good bit. Most of them keep to the lower section of the building, though, making the potteries and whatnot. He's got a personal office upstairs, right above.
Alright, I'm going to basically, I'm going to wait till the workday is over, and I'm going to try and inconspicuously follow him to his house.
That's your plan?
Yeah.
Alright. Well then. So, you leave Gooby and take the information with you, and you make your way upstairs, like as in you go out and you go up this, like these big stairs that go up into the top parts of the kingdom where like most of the people live. And you find your way using Gooby's directions easy enough to the Pottery Lord's place. You see it's bustling right now. Like there's a lot of people admiring the beautiful ornate decorations and all the wonderful things. And yeah, you see all that happening, and you're just gonna just wait around for closing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got about a good 6 hours to kill.
Should I do a perception to see if I can pick him out based on the description, or should
Are
I
you
just
like yeah, you can do that. I mean, you can actually pick him out. He's up front with all the people selling the wares. He seems to be he's a kind of a heavy set man. He's got a very loud voice that kind of echoes over the general murmur of the crowd as he's trying to sell his wares, talking to people. He's putting him. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He puts his hands on their shoulders. He talks in a very like pleasing way, and you see he has pretty good business. But you pick him out pretty easily based on the description Gooby gave you.
Alright, so the workday is over, and I'm just gonna kind of trail him a little bit, see what he does, if he goes straight home, if he goes anywhere, or anything like that.
Yeah. Alright, so would you mind roll me stealthy, please?
That would
I'll roll his observation. You got one success. What'd you get?
be, where's my,
The dice disappear.
yeah, somehow it just vanished from existence.
You can re-roll another dice.
Okay, well, I've got 2 4s and 1, and a 2. So
2 successes. Okay, he does not seem to notice you, and get a 3 on 2, a routine test for stealth. Right. He's, as you might expect, the last one to close up shop, so there's no hiding in crowds, but it's nice and dark now, and like where his shop is like, you know, in a pretty crammed up area. There's a lot of shops, so like the roads between them are pretty narrow. There's a lot of like, you know, shadows and barrels and stuff to hide behind. You follow him quietly as he makes his way down the mostly dead street. You know, there's a few bystanders here and there, but for the most part it's kind of dying out
Oh.
as you follow him.
How fortunate. So there's nobody around?
For the most part.
Okay, well then, I'll be a little bit more straightforward. I'll say I'll try and wait until he gets into some dark alley or something where there's nobody around. If I can get to a situation like that, I'll try and do it now.
Alright, well, you follow him a ways, and you almost see the perfect opportunity. He passes right by a darkened alley, but as he does, you hear like a piercing wail, and something small but fast leaps from the darkness of the alleyway and like jumps on this man, and you watch as it
On
like
my target?
yeah, on your target. It jumps on him, and you hear him let out a gasp before it's caught off in a gurgle when the thing like bites down on his neck, and he kind of like collapses backwards as it like starts chewing on him.
What are the odds?
As you see this though, as you know, as the thing, you know, stopped moving as it's chewing on his neck, you see that it's not like a monster or anything. It's a little girl with pale blonde hair. She's wearing like a simple dress that's now stained a deep red as he gnaws on his neck. And
Did she see me?
does she indeed, Mr. Dolan? Does she indeed? You got 2 successes on your stealth, right?
Yeah.
Alright. You watch this and you try your best to maintain like quiet and silence, but you can't help but let out like a, and it's just like even it's the faintest breath, and this young girl looks up from her dinner, her mouth stained a deep red, her eyes are just glowing in the glow of the moonlight, and she lurches from the body and starts like heading like breakneck speed towards you.
Oh shit. Okay, I guess I'm going to grab my knives and prepare for battle.
Prepare for battle? Alright. Would you, it's up to you, would you rather do a bloody versus against this thing or a straight up fight? Bloody versus is like, it's faster, but you have less control over what to do. Like, basically like with bloody versus, you take your knife skill and you separate those dice into attack and defense, and then I'd give you advantage dice to both those things based on certain parameters. And basically whoever wins overpowers the other person, and they say how they defeat this person. You know, we think we've done fight before where like you pick out what you want to happen and we have to like do it separately and then say what happens. It takes longer, but you have more control of what happens.
What would you prefer?
It's up to you. Would you want to make this a more controlled fight but take longer, or do you want to make it quicker?
When you say longer, like, what do you think?
I mean, take a little while, because I don't think you've actually done a legit fight yet, right?
Yeah.
We can do bloody versus if you want to. That's acceptable for you, unless you prefer to do a fight and try it out. Well, no, you did that fight with Meryl.
Yeah, that's true.
Forgot about that. So you can do that, or you can do bloody versus. It's up to you.
Doesn't seem like a really strong opponent, so I'll try and do it the straightforward way.
Like bloody versus, or fight.
Bloody versus.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll get your dice for your knife, like your exponent, like your knife skill, which is how many?
4.
Then split that into attack and defense pools. You have to have at least 1 dice in each one.
So that's 2 for each.
If you want it, you can have it 2 in each, 3 in one, 1 in another. However you want to split it up, just have to have at least 1 in each one.
Alright. Where's HP? Okay, I'll just do 2 each.
2 each. Okay, this thing is doing 3 in attack and 1 in defense. Then I'll tell you if you get any advantage dice for certain things. Alright, you have, well, same thing. Blah blah. So okay, defense. You're wearing reinforced leather, correct?
That would be under.
Pretty sure you are.
Yep.
Add 2 dice to your defense pool because of your armor.
So I get 4.
Yes.
Okay, then can I decide to put?
Then yeah, you can do forks too for this.
So I automatically have 2 for armor, right?
Yeah, you have 2 dice in for defense and armor,
Okay, then I'm gonna put 4 into attack.
and just have 3 for defense.
What I get? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's your phone chip.
Hello?
Pretty quick, pretty quick.
Okay, so I'm putting my 4
Yeah,
dice for knife into attack, and I automatically have 2 for defense.
Yeah, but you have to have at least 1 dice from your knife skill in defense.
Okay, so I'll do 3 attack and
Yeah, 3 attack, and then you have 3 defense with your bonus from wearing armor.
okay.
Alright. I think that is it. Advantages, oh, she's gonna have 1 because of a higher stride.
You said I can fork stuff in.
Yes.
Assassin wise be good, or no? We'll probably wouldn't be.
Assassin wise?
Yeah,
No, I think you can fork that in.
I'm going for a vital organ or something.
Yeah. So we can put that in either defense or attack, your choice. Then anything else you wish to try and.
I put it in attack.
Okay. Right. So roll your attack dice
So I
first.
got 4 attack and 3 defense.
Yes. So roll your attack dice. Let's see how many successes you get.
Oh shit. Whoop. Okay. This. Wait. Yeah, I want that one. So these. Okay. Fail. Success. 3 is a fail.
Mm-hmm.
And success.
So you got 2 successes.
Yeah.
And roll your defense dice, please. Just tres.
One success.
All right. All right. She's gonna roll her attack. Yeah. Okay. 1. She does not do anything, and then 1 success in defense, and you have 2 in attack, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you defeat this thing. How do you do so?
Stick my dagger through its stomach.
Yeah, it tries to leap, like when it gets close to him, it tries to leap at you, like it jumps like an impossible height to get at your neck
I just stick my dagger out.
into its heart.
Sure. Hopefully it doesn't melt.
Well, you stab this thing in its chest, and you see as it like kind of claws at you and tries to get at you, and yeah, you have it at your mercy, but it's not dead. It's still like trying to get at you, even though you have a knife stuck in its chest.
Alright, well, I pin it to the wall kind of, and then I take my other knife and stick it up through its chin.
Through its chin. All right, this seems to have fallen. This thing, you stick it up through, it instantly stops thrashing and kind of just falls silent with like gurgling hisses.
Okay, was there a lot of noise? Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of noise involved.
Yeah.
Alright, in this world, would people carry any kind of ID or anything like that?
Identification.
Yeah.
They'd have like badges and symbols and stuff. Like the guard would have their own kind of like insignia, and same for the nobles, and everyone have their own like kind of insignias if they're important enough.
Can I like loot him real quick? And
Oh,
see
yeah,
if he
the
has
pottery
any kind of
guy?
ID or
Yeah, he has an insignia of what is obviously a pot
okay.
on a badge that's on his pinned to his chest.
I'll take that, and if he has any kind of money or
You do find 2 dice worth of cash on hand. So just say in your like little loot, 2D cash on hand. It's like a little pouch filled with gold. Like wherever you have like
possessions and stuff.
yeah, you can just write 2D cash on hand.
Okay. Do I roll for it?
Oh no, you don't have to. Like that'd be like if you want to buy something, you do a resources, and since your resource I think is 0, you roll those 2 cash on hand dice, and if you get a success, your resources will be bumped up to be 1.
Okay. I'm gonna. I guess the ID would like. I mean, I have information about him. Would it say what he looks like and stuff?
Yeah, you can see what he looks like.
What was his head like? Like his hair?
His hair, it was balding for the most part, except for like around the edges. You see, like he tried to comb over to try and cover the bald spot, but it was a very piss poor job.
Alright.
He normally wears hats, but his hat, which is like it kind of like, you know those French Musketeer hats that have like kind of pretty wide and have a big feather stuck in it. You know, that's what I'm talking about. He usually wears one of those hats, but of course, you know, this hat has fallen off his head since he got attacked.
Quickly scalp a piece of the side of his head that has like, you know,
Oh,
kind of balding,
yeah, I got you.
and stuff it in. No. What if you cover in blood? What the hell would I do with that? Oh, I put it in my pocket.
Roadie.
Before the guards get there.
You start to hear footsteps coming quickly. You know, you don't have much time.
So okay, I run off. Should I sneak and run or?
Well, if I'm letting you sneak ride.
Alright.
You have enough time to escape, and that is where we'll stop for the day. All right, and since everyone's asleep, yeah.